Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's J Mill. Hashtag Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coop.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on to something.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
All right. What should we name the team? Eagles. No, they have that in Philadelphia. They're our rivals. Okay. Sparrows. No, too small. Bigger bird. Okay, flamingos. No, it doesn't have anything to do with hockey. Okay, penguins. Okay, penguins. Yeah, penguins. Penguins it is. I think that's how the discussion went. Nigh on almost 60 years ago.
Well, it always has to be a bird, right? You can't name it anything else.
No, it has to be a bird name. It had to be a bird name when the Penguins were joining the National Hockey League. It had to be a bird name. Well, because who joined? Early quiz for Hoop. Hoop. Wasn't that a band, Hoobastank?
Sounds like something, yeah.
You're probably even too young to remember Hoobastank.
No, I think you've mentioned them once before. You called me Kubastank once. I was a bit confused. Yeah,
well, maybe. Who were the second six? Who were the teams that joined in '67?
Blues.
Yes. Well, we're talking about one already.
Penguins.
Okay, so Blues, not a bird name.
Yeah. Capitals.
No, they were later. I had to think about. I got to think about this now
70s.
myself.
Yeah, geez.
Capitals. Yeah, the Capitals were a little later.
Okay, I'm going through the motion of all the teams here. Out east, Flyers.
Yeah, Flyers. So I guess bird related. You could look at it.
Well, Kansas City.
No.
Seals.
No.
Ew.
Yeah, Blues. I think it was
Kings.
I think it was. I'm having trouble remembering this. Believe it was Blues, Penguins, Flyers, Seals, California or Oakland, whatever they're called.
Golden Seals. Yeah.
North Stars. Who's the other team we missed? You said them all.
The Flyers. Kings.
Yeah, Kings.
Kings was the last team, yeah. The second six.
From the original 12. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Castor wrote it out because I think we were repeating ourselves. Golden Seals, Blues, Penguins, Flyers, Kings, North Stars. So there were no bird names, unless the North Star is a type of bird. I don't think that's what they were naming them after in Minnesota.
No.
So they're like, we gotta be the bird team. We gotta be the bird team.
I mean,
and they were.
Rolls off
and
the
they
tongue.
are.
The PPs, yeah.
Well, most successful. Well, the Kings now have what? 2 cups. The Flyers were the first team to win. They have 2 cups, several other trips to the finals. Penguins are at 5 Stanley Cups?
5, yeah.
Golden Seals, none. North Stars, I guess eventually one in Dallas. They did go to the 1981 final. With Dino Ciccarelli.
That was, yes.
That's one of my first memories of watching hockey. They were waving little Dino dolls like from the Flintstones as the North Stars were coming out onto the ice. Anyway, it is the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. I continue to believe that this is probably the worst nickname in hockey, but whatever.
I think the Nashville squad is up there, though, too. Those are
given what's happened with that word. Here's how we expect the Oilers to line up tonight. By the way, it's a 7 o'clock game. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, hosted by Tom Gazola. McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. McDavid, 34 points in 17 career games against the Penguins. This is based on how they practiced yesterday. There was no morning skate today. Well, a very optional morning skate for the Oilers. Roslovic with Howard and Savoy. Lazar with Janmark and Mangiapane. So the extra wingers, however you want to look at it, Podkolzin and Frederick. Clearly, there will be a lot of rotating going on with the Oilers once again having 11 forwards. Leon Draisaitl still away from the team for a personal matter, and Kasperi Kapanen is injured. Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurse with Emerson, Wallman with Stastny. We'll see how much Alec Regula plays tonight. Only played about 2.5 minutes a couple of days ago. Tristan Jarry will be the goaltender for the Oilers, so he'll get his second straight start against the Penguins in his career. Well, he's only played them once because he was a Penguin most of his career. He's 1-0 That's from earlier this season, 4.01 goals against average and an 867 save percentage. For the visitors, who are 7-2-2 in the month of January, pretty good. Crosby with Raquel and Rust, Novak with Chinikov and Malkin, Kindell with Mantha and Brazeau, Lizotte with Dewar and Achari, Wotherspoon and Kulak together. So both Carlson and Letang are out, right? So they don't have those guys. Shea with St. Ivany and Graves with Clifton. Sheloff's the goaltender. We saw Shelov's a lot in the playoffs. He's never played the Oilers in the regular season.
That's stunning.
So he has no regular season stats against Edmonton. The Oilers are 25-18-8. They're coming off a loss to the Devils. The Penguins beat the Flames last night. They're doing pretty good, 24-14-11. We're going to hear from Chris Knobloch, from Matthias Ekholm later on in the show. We're going to look, we'll have a few topics, a couple topics anyway, themed around great players. So you got Crosby in tonight. You got Malkin in tonight. You got McDavid playing. Unfortunately, no Draisaitl, but he's obviously been part of this matchup a lot over the years. So we'll do some things looking at greatness, looking at superstars. We're going to have an off-topic topic here in a few minutes that hopefully will inspire many of you to participate in the show. And we love when you do it. One way to do so is to text us at 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino hosting a watch party for the good old Super Bowl on February 8th. Doors at 3:30, kickoff at 4:30. Tickets starting at $35, which includes an all-you-can-eat buffet. Find out more about all the other great stuff going on at River Cree at rivercreeresort.com. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can also email Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. Jason Milne is not here today. He is working, but taking care of some other sales-related responsibilities. So he will be back tomorrow. So I'm flying solo as a host today, though we're going to have several great guests all over the course of the show. And my good buddy, Mopper Extraordinaire at the technical desk, Zach Kubish, is here as well. Now, maybe you're listening on iHeartRadio, on TuneIn Radio, wonderful apps. Thanks for doing that. Don't forget to spread the word about how people can consume Edmonton Sports Talk. And then, of course, there's the good old YouTube feed, the channel Edmonton Sports Talk. Subscribe to it if you have not done so already. And you can chat with us and with your fellow listeners, your fellow nasties in the nasty chat going on along the YouTube stream. And if you have not done so already for this show, for today's episode, please click the thumbs up button on YouTube.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, we try to get to 100 every show. We've been doing, you've been doing a great job getting us there. We're off to a pretty decent start with 20 thumbs in the first 10 minutes, but don't delay. So a lot on the Oilers and Penguins, and we're also going to talk to, this will be a really good interview coming at about 4 o'clock, Ethan McKenzie from the Edmonton Oil Kings, who are having a great season. He's having a great season. He's going to the Prospects game. He played in the World Juniors, so we want to get to know Ethan and profile him a little bit as well. So no Jay Milne today, but all our other regulars are here, and it's time to do the afternoon headlines presented by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. The Icebirds are in town to take on the locals. They still call him Sid the Kid. He's so old, 87 isn't just his number, it's his font size. Cookie Jari will be in goal. Captain Connie has 2 points a game in his career against the Icebirds. Jiminy Cricket, he's done more damage to the Penguins than global warming. The Scotties start tomorrow in Mississauga. Hey, Jason Milne, is that a corn broom in your pocket, or are you just trying to draw to my button? I'm Chet Palmer.
Right. Oh, tying it back, and I was curious of what Chet was going to say with Jay being absent today, but yeah, he's still wondering what's in his pocket. I wonder what he brought to that meeting today. The Icebirds, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean, they technically are birds on the ice, but penguins also live in warm climates too.
Do they?
Yeah, but these ones...
Like Sangudo?
Maybe.
The Sangudo penguin.
Oh.
We'll save the Jay usually likes to get Chet's script. We'll have to save that for him.
Yeah, I think he frames every single one.
I think he's just got a wall of Chet Palmer scripts somewhere at home.
I would. It's all-star every time.
That's the afternoon headlines presented by 100.3 The Bear. All right, so you're going to have to You're going to have to help me here.
Anything you need, Reid?
Because we have to do the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. So usually Jason Milne watches the text line for this, 780-218-9999, afternoon inbox for 100.3 The Bear. Now, I have it open here, but you're going to have to help me, Coop. Okay? Because usually this is Jay's job. So we'll share what he's doing. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So people should probably know how this works by now, but if you're new, here's the deal. I'm going to give clues over the course of the show. Okay? Is somebody distracting you? Was somebody trying to make you giggle? Somebody waving a mop at you?
Yeah. Trev. Yeah, usually he's out of here by 12:30.
Yeah, he hung around today. He wanted to visit with me today. So I'll give clues throughout this course of the show, and each clue, in my mind, makes it more and more obvious who the mystery athlete is. Okay? And then the first person to guess it correctly, as long as they haven't won in the last 3 weeks, gets the $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub, featuring $10 tankards and $6 tequila shots, or you can grab the $23.99 adult Happy Meal featuring the drive-in burger, fries, choice of beer, and a limited edition hockey puck bottle opener. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. Maximum 3 guesses per person, and it's pretty for people who have I wonder if they're how do they get their text? Well, we have a website that we log into, and the texts go to that. So when we click on your most recent message, we also see all the messages. We can scroll back that you've ever sent to the show. So if you've made 3 guesses already, it's pretty easy for us to see that, okay, you can't win. So the first clue is 70, as in 70. Okay, Coop? Everyone? Well, Coop can't win. You know who it is,
7,
right?
And that's a 0.
Did I tell you who it is?
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
I was I believe I forgot to tell you one day when it was just the two of us. So the first clue is 70. I'll give out the next clue probably before 4, and we'll see the first person who gets it and who's going to get the $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. So the first clue is 70. We've made Coob do even though you know who it is.
I do. Well, because looking at this, you could think various different ways of what 70 goes.
That's the clue in itself. You got to be careful.
Okay.
I know. I struggle with that too, giving out non-clue clues. First clue is 70. Then we rest.
Let it sit.
Then we rest.
I'm resting.
We enter a hibernative state. All right.
Yes.
So first clue is 70. Hudson's Canada's Pub. Mystery athlete of the game. Oilers Penguins tonight at 7 o'clock at Rogers Place. Game 3 of this epic 8-game homestand for your Edmonton Oilers. So here's the deal. You got Crosby coming in, one of the all-time greats in the National Hockey League. You got Malkin, one of the all-time greats. You got McDavid, I guess he's already one of the all-time greats, but still probably, half his career left. So I was thinking about this, when you have matchups like this, there's often a lot of, it's, McDavid versus Crosby, even though, of course, there's more to it than that, especially in a sport like hockey. But I thought it would be fun for the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. So the question for the off-topic topic is, what 1 versus 1 showdown of superstars would you like to see? Or what superstars would you like to see go head-to-head, basically? Now, we'll leave it fairly open here because team sports, of course, are different. McDavid and Crosby may rarely be on the ice together tonight, or maybe they're going to be matched up a lot, but it's still McDavid versus Crosby. You still get to see them in the same game. So this could be like, hey, you'd like to see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in their prime taking on Joe Montana and peak 49ers. Even though Montana and Mahomes wouldn't be on the field at the same time, you'd still see them going back and forth as the two quarterbacks in the game. So that would fit the bill in a team sport. You can pick players in team sports. The first one that came to mind for me, and perhaps Dustin Nielsen would get a courtside seat for this one, is LeBron James against Michael Jordan. So, and you could go a couple different ways with this. You could have, I guess would you have one of LeBron's, would you have LeBron on one of his Heat teams? Would you have the Cavaliers team that won the title? Would you have one of his Lakers teams? And then you'd have, I guess, the 72-10 Bulls team led by Michael Jordan.
That would probably be the top one. Yeah.
Or you just have them play 1-on-1 to 21.
See, I would see that even on the mini hoops here at EST. I think that would be entertaining.
I think they would need a little more room.
Yeah, maybe
they would need a little bit more room.
Yeah, head on the ceiling, just standing in here. That's one of the first ones that became apparent to me. And then outside of sports, like I started thinking and exploring for a moment. Like, I mean, I guess Guy Ferrari or Ferrari, whatever the cook is, like the road side. You know, he goes to these different restaurants and stuff. And, you know, he tests certain foods and whatever, and he's got a TV show against Gordon Ramsay. Now, I know
like
they're
Iron
both
Chef,
superstars.
Iron Chef competition.
Chef kind of to see
Fieri
how
against Ramsay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Who's the other guy? Oh, Bobby Flay. There was Bobby
yes.
Flay was a show too, and I think he was on Iron Chef.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to see maybe Joaquin Gage versus Sean Bell.
In a fight? Or a penalty shot?
Maybe just a penalty shot. Yeah, they don't have to fight, but they are superstars around here at EST.
Another one for me, because I like golf, and Big Uke already put in the chat as well. So he put in a foursome. Hogan, Woods, Palmer, Nicklaus at Augusta.
Oh.
Mine would just be Woods versus Nicklaus, either in match play or a major, you know, something at Augusta, something at Oakmont, something at St. Andrews, where they're tied going into the final round and they're 6 shots ahead of the next best guy. Like, it's basically mano-a-mano for the championship. So that would be one for me. Matthew Iwanek, I thought, and I'll ask Gager. Gager's going to join me in the studio here in 4 or 5 minutes, which will be fun, making him work overtime. And I see Sobe Kirk just put this in the nasty chat. So he's along the same wavelengths as our buddy, our COO here at EST, Matthew Iwanek. Ruth versus Ohtani. And they're both pitching and hitting. So they're like, these are Ruth in his prime years of also pitching, and Ohtani, well, I guess whatever this year, a couple of years ago he didn't pitch, right? I believe because he was coming off of surgery or something. Yeah. So that would be a good one because they'd be pitching against the other guy's team, but they'd have to face the other one as both a batter and as a pitcher.
Oh, these are some amazing ones.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Another one, I took a names route. Now, cross sports this time. I don't know what they'd have to do, but Rick Nash and Steve Nash. I mean, they'll have to go toe-to-toe. What about Will Smith from the MLB and San Jose Sharks forward Will Smith? Maybe the other Will Smith. Maybe it's a 1v1v1. Not Will Smith, the actor, in a slapping match with Will Smith, the catcher, or something like that. Trying to go back and forth that way. I like that, going that kind of route as well. Like, I mean, there's so many ways that you could take this here. The Nash on Nash, though, I saw a video of Steve Nash. Like, I mean, playing hockey growing up.
He did,
Rick Nash on the ice.
Well, and Steve Nash's brother, Martin, played soccer. Oh, and I believe he was at Edmonton Driller. So, yeah.
Nash on Nash. I mean, there's so many
Hans Shorkoff in the afternoon inbox for River Crew Resort and Casino reminding us, yes, there are actually 2 Will Smiths in Major League Baseball.
There is. Yeah, there's one.
Because there's a Will, because I think this Will Smith, Hans Shorkoff will remember. There's been a Will Smith that has won the World Series, I think 4 years in a row. It might have been this Will Smith, then the other Will Smith for 2 years again, and then the Dodgers Will Smith. I can't remember the sequence.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dodgers Will Smith here, who spent his entire career, one previous year, was drafted there 2019. And it's like they go back and forth. When
Bones says Andre the Giant versus any modern wrestler. I think we're going to get some boxing ones. Mark says Lennox Lewis versus Muhammad Ali. That'd be a good one. James in the nasty chat, Tyson versus Ali.
Oh,
that'd be a good one.
I'm a big
a few people are putting that they'd like to see. So Van Owen said, he actually says he saw this. Foyt, Andretti, Unser in the same Indy. Bronco Nick says, I'd like to see Schumacher, Fangio, Senna, Hamilton, and Verstappen all racing the same car in an F1 race. I think he means the same model of car, not a 5-man tag team where they pit and change drivers every few laps. Okay, these are some good ones. Some people are already going some places that I didn't anticipate they would go. So the off-topic topic for William Huff, what is a showdown of superstars that you would like to see? So clearly you can cross eras in this, and you can do individual sports or say a team sport and how you envision it working, and we'll have some fun with this one over the course of the show. What is somebody making? Do you smell? Is there somebody making chicken wings? What is that?
I smell something in the air.
Gager might be bringing some food in here.
Well, he's a
generous man.
Yeah.
You're going to hear from Chris Knobloch. You're going to hear from Matthias Ekholm, who has some very impressive stats lately. And Tom Gazola a little bit later on as well. Ethan McKenzie from the Oil Kings. Phil Bourque from the Penguins Radio Network. And Joaquin Gage is going to join me in 2 or 3 minutes. Here comes the Coob with the Sports Update.
And Penguins going at it from Rogers Place. Tristan Jarry gets a nod for Edmonton. Arturs Sheloff's on the other side for Pittsburgh. Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson set the table during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They go live at 6 right here on EST. 4 games starting at 5 o'clock in the NHL. The Knights and Bruins face off. The Sabres and Canadiens match up while Carolina plays host to Chicago. Breaking news from Minnesota Wild defenseman Jonas Brodin underwent surgery for a lingering lower body injury, and he will miss the Olympics next month for Team Sweden. In LA, Zach Dooley, the manager of editorial content for the Kings, reported that Darcy Kemper is fine after having an injury scare Tuesday night against the Rangers. And down south, the Titans have hired former Niners defensive coordinator Robert Saleh as their next head coach, inking Saleh to a 5-year contract. Over to the hardwood, the Clippers and Lakers clash in the Battle of LA. The Spurs and Jazz tip off at 7 before the Blazers face the Heat. Joaquin Gage up next here on The Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
The Colorado Avalanche are the only team in the West that Oilers fans should really be afraid of. Hired or fired?
Fire it.
Fire it.
Who else would
Vegas
fans
Golden
legitimately be afraid of, though?
You don't want to look at the Vegas Golden Knights right now and still...
I'll look at them, but I wouldn't be afraid of them if I was an Oilers fan.
It's not Vegas. For me, it's Dallas.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
UFC 324 is live Saturday, January 24th at the Canadian Brewhouse. With TVs at every turn, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop action, you won't miss a second of the fight. UFC 324, live at the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Sentinel Storage presents Team Canada ice dancers Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier on Support from Home.
We're celebrating all the people at home, the people that have supported us. We know our community is going to be cheering for us, and we know the country is going to be cheering for us.
Thank you, Canada. Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Team Canada.
Looks like Jesse Minter is the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Minter, 42 years of age. He was the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers for the last couple of years. Like when you look at these coaches' resumes, Gager, they're just like they got us pretty. If you want to be an NFL head coach. I pick the NFL. I think hockey's a little different. I wouldn't know enough, I guess, about basketball and baseball. But if you want to be an NFL head coach, you better start when you're 20. Like you better, unless you're a player, but you better be taking, stats or something in the athletic department and go into the coach's office and just say, I will work for nothing. I will work insane hours. What tape do you need me to break down? I'm willing to learn it. So here's this Minter guy. He's 42. 2006 Notre Dame defensive intern. Cincinnati 07-08 graduate assistant. Indiana State 9-10 linebackers coach. Indiana State 11-12 defensive coordinator. Georgia State 13-16 defensive coordinator. Then he goes, this guy went along pretty quick. Ravens defensive assistant 17-18. Ravens assistant defensive backs coach 2019. Hey, I got an idea. We should play man. No, we're playing zone. Ravens defensive backs coach in 20. Then he goes to Vanderbilt and is the defensive coordinator and safeties coach. Then he goes to Michigan and is the defensive coordinator in 22-23. Then he's the Chargers defensive coordinator for the last 2 years. Now he's the Ravens head coach. Wow. I wonder if they buy houses in every market.
Ooh, as a financial advisor, I would say rent.
Just rent?
Yeah, just rent.
So anyway, some news there. Because how long was Harbaugh there again? Was it 16 years? 19?
19, I think.
Was that long?
Yeah.
That's crazy. In a profession with virtually no job security, to make it past 4 or 5 years is incredible enough.
I wonder if, because, the OC, the DC, the head coach, do you ever look at hockey the same way? Like, I know that there's usually one of the assistants operates the power play, but their designation isn't the power play
I
coach,
see. Yeah, they just,
right?
just all assistants. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if they'll be, I do the power or the penalty kill structure coach.
Right.
Right? Like, are coaches going to specialize like that?
I think now some NBA teams, don't they have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator? Yeah, I don't know if hockey. Well, I guess hockey has a goalie coach, but he's playing a different game.
Yeah,
within a game.
I mean, yeah, there is a goalie coach. Like, I don't think has there ever been a goalie coach behind the bench. I don't think
so. Has a team? I mean, teams hire skills coaches, but I think because the Oilers, I can't remember who it was. They hired us kind of a skills coach, but I think he would also go to Baco. I don't think he'd be around the Oilers all the time.
Well,
hey, Connor, here's how you stick handle, buddy.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird to have a skills coach for Connor. Well, Pelche, right?
Oh yeah,
he was their skating and kind of conditioning coach. Like he would, I know him a little bit, and he said, yeah, I would skate the guys that maybe didn't go on the trip, days off, guys that didn't have the day off. He would come in and skate them. All accounts, like he was at every game too, right?
He'd be up top.
Yeah, and so obviously built a relationship with
Gullickson,
because Gullickson took him to Dallas.
Because now he's an assistant coach.
But I think he's the same. It's kind of the same.
But is he the eye in the? Oh, okay. He just.
But part of me, because it is such a cutthroat business, and from what stories I've heard over, after I'm out of hockey and I have friends that are still in hockey and at the professional level, it is it can be kind of stabby in the backy,
right,
a little bit. And maybe this is the way Gullickson kind of brought his own guys in there too, right? He's got someone at least he knows he can trust right away. Maybe there's partly that, and obviously he has he likes what David's been able to do.
See, and I remember when Todd McClellan was hired, the news conference. It might have been at the Hotel Mac. What's it called now? The Fairmont Edmonton.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Because we went live from there on Ched, and being the rights holder, they brought Todd over for a one-on-one interview.
Yeah.
And all they announced was Todd. And I said, he goes, well, now we got to hire a staff. And I just said, well, will Jay Woodcroft be on your staff? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He's my right-hand man. He keeps me in line. And of course, Oilers PR came up to me after and was like, why are you asking things we didn't announce? I was like, I didn't. He could have said, I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and then who was it? So McCullen brought Woodcroft, and then Tippett brought Playfair because they got fired together.
Mm-hmm.
And then Woodcroft had
Did he bring Manson?
I
or
think
was
so.
Manson hired?
I thought him and Manson both came up from Baco.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Though I don't know how long they would have coached together. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
A couple of years at least.
Yeah, he
probably.
was in when Woodcroft went back down, like got sent down as a assistant coach.
Maybe he was already there, and then
they got.
So anyway, hockey's a little more. No, I'm not saying hockey coaches don't move around because the new assistant coach was a coach in the Dub last year, McFarland.
Yeah.
So they do bounce around, but it's like the job titles in football. It's like you start as the like. Oh. Well, when I was 20, I was the game film dusting assistant. And then
Xerox copy.
By my fourth year, they actually let me watch a game live, and I was the. We're getting off the rails here, but you've seen the show before. You know it can do this. There was I don't know if you remember the name. He was an old lineman for the Esks in the Mike Riley era.
Okay,
big guy. He had some NFL experience as well. DeAnthony Batiste.
Okay,
and I'm not sure if he's still doing this, but he went, I think, to the Raiders. And he was strength and conditioning. Oh. And Dave Campbell there obviously has a lot of contacts with the football guys. So we had him on once, and I was like, "So what do you do with the Raiders?" He's like, "Well, strength and conditioning. So I got to do programs for these guys." And I said, "Okay, so what do you do on a game day?" He goes, "Oh, on game day, I'm the get back guy." And I thought he was joking, like I thought he was making a joke or intentionally using lingo that I didn't know, and then he was going to be like, "Oh, gotcha, Reid," or something. I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay, you're the." So I was like, "I gotta just say I don't know because I don't know." So I was like, "Hey, the get back guy, like that means nothing to me." And he's like, "No, like it's literally it is exactly literal. I'm the get back guy during games. I make sure because the sideline is that thickness of white. Players actually aren't supposed to stand there."
Yeah.
He goes, I'm the get back guy. Like if we're about running back a pick six, I got to make sure they don't go on the field because we could get a delay of game or unsportsmanlike. So it's like I'm the get back guy. Get back.
Because didn't the coach of the Rams,
McVay, the current coach?
Like I've seen a guy actually hold the back of his shirt.
Oh yeah, he has someone tugging him.
He's got the shirt, the tug. The shirt tug guy, I guess it would be. Like he's literally grabbing onto the back of his pants at one time to get him off the field. Like,
I wonder what else. Like that guy must have other job responsibilities. So Batiste on game day, well, there's not as much lifting and stuff. So so I wonder what that guy does the rest of the week. Can you imagine if that was your only job?
I might go to school.
Honey, I saw you on TV again, grabbing back of coach's pants.
How much do you think you can make a year doing that?
I hope there's something else. Skills and abilities. Know exactly which pleat to grab.
Yeah. Do you put that on the resume?
Well, did I not? What game was it? It might have been that college game. I think it was a very brief. I wouldn't have even thought of this ever again if you had started talking about this. It might have been Signetti, the Indiana coach, either tossed his headset or came off awkwardly, and then all of a sudden there was a guy next to him like trying to fix it, and he's looking like hurry up, and it's like if I were the guy, I'd be like, dude, don't throw them mid game if you don't want to be stuck without them.
Yeah, they're nice too.
Oh, they have probably high quality.
Those are Bose or something, aren't they?
Here's Coach Joaquin Gage. He only coaches wearing the Dolby 7.1 technology headset.
Exactly.
You got a little subwoofer by your ankle. You got an anklet with a.
Yeah, it's just it's where the bass travels best in my body, my right ankle.
By the way, if you're taking us in on YouTube today and you have not already done so, please give us a thumbs up. We want to get to at least 100 thumbs for this show. Once you have given the thumbs up, click share, email, or text the show link off to somebody else in your life who thinks they will enjoy our, well, at least on this show, our meandering conversation, and also getting you ready for the Oilers and the Penguins. Interesting here for the Oilers. They are, 2-2 in their last 4 games?
Mm-hmm.
They've allowed 3 goals. That doesn't, well, they've done it both the only way it can be done.
Yeah.
By being shut out and losing 2-1.
Unbelievable. A change in the team. I think they, I've said it before, I think they had fun on Sunday night with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1,000th game. And yeah, it's going to be a much different game tonight. There's a lot of star power, although the Pittsburgh Penguins are missing a couple key pillars on the back end. But it's always exciting to see McDavid play against Crosby. This is for McDavid at this point, I think looking across and seeing a guy that he wanted to emulate when he was a kid. Those kind of pictures are iconic. That first draw when they're both taking the face off, those are always fun. But saying that, I do think the Oilers will win tonight, but there will be some goals scored.
Do you think this one might be a little different than 1-0, 6-0, 5-0, and 2-1?
I think
it won't be the first one to 2 wins.
I think the Oilers are kind of like the horse in the starters blocks and just kind of going nuts, wanting to get at this. Just from how last game went, how the third period ended, it looked like they were getting back to that hunger to score. So. And not having a lot of success offensively. I think they're a caged animal offensively right now.
Stuart Skinner with the Penguins, 6-4, .902 save percentage, 2.34 goals against average. Those last 2 numbers would not have gotten him traded. As remember, if he was, if he'd done that as an Oiler.
Look, he struggled when he got there. Probably very difficult because if you really look at his career, he's been traded twice right now, like once in junior, once now. So
right, he got traded to Swift going for the Memorial Cup. Yeah,
and the unsettling of everything. So 2 young children, your wife, you're moving not only to a different country, different hockey market. Things are done probably completely different. The getting traded hurts, right? The team didn't want you, and you were. He had a lot of roots grown in this city and still does. So, but we've heard Stuart Skinner talk. And one of the things that you've always had to admire about him is his positive outlook on things. And it's probably not always like that. Like sometimes he's even said it, right? He's looked in the mirror and goes, "What?
Right.
This sucks." Right. But if anyone has the ability to kind of take a few steps back and look at the positive things that had happened. And today on our show, we heard that, he gets there, or Darren Pang asked him, "How's it going, big boy," in his first game there. And he goes, "Are you kidding me? I learned from one of the best in Connor McDavid. Now I get a chance to learn from these professionals like Malkin and Crosby as well. Like I'm in an unbelievable situation."
Yeah.
Right? So his ability to find the silver lining are good. And I think his recent play and his numbers are a direct reflection of that.
Yeah, he always did that one, and he'll continue to do that. And I get it for a lot of people listening, whether it was Skinner or any other athlete or coach, if you hear something positive as a loss or something where an athlete isn't, beating on himself, that it can be frustrating. But I remember when the Oilers, the first time they played Bedard, I think they won 4-1 or 4-2, but Bedard scored early in the game, and Skinner said after the game, "Well, I'm glad I saw him get that shot off because now I know that's how he shoots."
Yeah.
As opposed to saying, like, "I'm so mad I let this rookie score on me." He said, "Okay, I saw his shot and it beat me. Now I should be better prepared for the next time." I get for a lot of fans would sooner hear the guy come out and say, "I suck, I let everybody down, I'm terrible, I'm so sorry." But most athletes actually don't beat themselves up to that extent.
No, I mean, I know, and I believe it was on your show. I remember hearing back in the day that I think I'm paraphrasing what you said, but I think it was somewhere along the lines. I know everyone wants them to go home and bang their head against the wall a bunch of times and whip themselves for playing a bad game, but that's not realistic.
No. Well, and Drew Remenda has said on this show, nobody moves on from a game quicker than hockey players.
Yeah.
Because, if you go back, and most of these guys are playing high-level, highly competitive hockey probably since they're 8, 9. I got a buddy whose son is 8, and he's he's already on the list for the 2028 brick, or whatever, So that's if you don't learn at a young age, you can't let a loss derail you.
There's professionals that aren't good at it, right? That aren't able to move past games as quick as others because. You get to the elite of the elite. I mean, they still hang on to games. I did. It's a tough lesson unless you can in some respects. And the good thing is you're usually playing in a day or two, right? So you don't have time. But it is a skill to learn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I don't know if I said Sunday after the game when I was leaving, Pareko was in that hallway, talking to probably some friends or family. What's he going to do? Sorry, guys. No, I'm not going to say hi. We lost. You got to be a human being.
And look at Koob. I mean, he's moved completely on from the garbage fiasco.
Well, he's going to be the best mopper ever. That's what I think.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. I got a question for you. Thanks for staying late, buddy.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah. As I like to say to people, your appearance will be neither appreciated nor compensated. But
I'll grab one of those drinks in the fridge.
We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Enter to win Oilers home game tickets and sip $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light only at the Brewhouse. So the off-topic for William Huff, which 1v1 showdown of superstars would you like to see? So you can do guys from different eras, different sports. You can set the parameters if you want. Like I said, if you wanted to, you could pick Mahomes versus Montana, even though they won't be on the field at the same time, just to see them as an example, go back and forth. I have Woods Nicholas, Jordan LeBron. A few people suggested that. Ohtani Ruth was Matthews, and Sobe Kirk put that in. There were some auto racing suggestions. I don't know if you heard that. So do you have something?
There's a few other sports that I keep tabs on that I really enjoy. Obviously, F1 I'm really into. Tennis I'm not as much as before, but I kind of saw some of those back in the day where Nadal played Federer.
Right.
I remember Bourque and McEnroe, Connor, Agassi. I was capable of seeing some of those, but I do like the sweet science too.
Right.
Reid, Dusty, Jesus. And I watch all the major fights. I'm really into it. And the one thing I would really like to see, and you asked me to do this, so it came to my mind right away, but I had to kind of research it a little bit. And both of them could fight at this weight in their prime.
Okay.
And Roy Jones Jr. fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, no way.
At 154.
Okay.
Could have happened.
Yeah, right.
Well, couldn't have happened.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
But they were both able to.
You could take them when they were both at that weight.
They both could fight at that weight. And if you put that fight in their prime together, I think would have been one of the most spectacular fights you would ever seen. And that's what I would, if I could do anything, I think I'd do that.
That's a good one. Because Jones was what, late 90s?
Late 90s.
I want to say.
And just destroyed everyone in it. Because he was fast.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of watching Roy Jones, and then he fought, I believe it was Virgil Hill. And Virgil Hill was a killer. And Jones put him down with a body shot. And I was just like, whoa, what is going on here? And the problem with Roy Jones is he never had that other guy that was in his weight class.
Yeah.
That he had that kind of trilogy kind of battles with.
That's a good one. I remember, I don't know why this stuck with me. Maybe I just thought it was a clever line at the time. I was thinking I was watching TSN or something, late 90s, like Jones. Some analyst said, like, Roy Jones Jr. will retire out of boredom.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it was. I mean, I remember one time because he started playing professional basketball in
one of those other leagues,
league in Florida, and then went and fought that night and beat the tar off this guy. And he played point guard, and I think he finished with like 36 points in the game. Like he was a tremendous athlete, just an interesting guy, really interesting guy. Like had a falling out with his father, and he never had a trainer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was
never had a trainer. He did it all himself.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good one. Like hockey's, we talk about it in hockey, but as I said, McDavid and Crosby, I mean, they probably will, but hypothetically, they could never be on the ice at the same time.
Yeah.
And it could be like, well, McDavid got 3 points and Crosby got 2, so McDavid beat him head to head. But it's like, well, actually, McDavid walked their defenseman 3 times, and Crosby only did it to the Oilers defenseman twice.
Like, have you really? I just remember that Game 7 when Crosby and Ovechkin had hat tricks or whatever it was. Right. That's kind of that was a great matchup and just crazy. It's hard to do in hockey. With individual players. Maybe was it goalies and players matchup? Waugh in the finals. When he went up against Rona, I don't know.
But even so,
they're not
like 4 shots on goal would be a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I'm saying this night or if he's Raffle Zepp. I hope I got that right. I don't think I've seen you in the chat on this show before. If I'm forgetting, sorry. He says Skinner has more 3-game winning streaks than the Oilers team does all season. That's true. The Oilers they're the only team without a 3-game winning streak. I looked this up and I keep referring to it. The longest it has ever taken the Oilers to win 3 games is 55 games in 91-92. So in that season, they won 53, 54, 55 to get their first W3, and then they won 3 more to get to a win 6. So this is a very unofficial team record that they probably would never put in their media guide, even if I went and said, hey, guys, you set a new team record. They'd be like, get lost, Reid. Go sit. You got a spot. Go sit in it and don't talk to us. All right. Thanks for sticking around, Gager. You're the best. Enjoy the game tonight.
You too.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. That is Joaquin Gage from EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas 1 to 3 every weekday here on EST. We will visit with Ethan McKenzie from the Oil Kings. Tom Gazola is going to be on the show. Phil Bourque as well. But right now, to the technical desk, it's the Coob.
Tristan Jarry and Arturs Sheloff's duel in the crease as the Oilers battle the Penguins from E-Town. Edmonton will go 11 forward, 7 defensemen once again as Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson preview the game during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tune in live at 6 right here on EST. Injury news around the league. Jonas Brodin will miss the Olympics for Team Sweden. He underwent surgery for a lower body injury. He's expected to return for the Wild before the end of the season. As for the Senators, David Perron is sidelined for up to 7 weeks. He requires surgery to remedy a sports hernia, and there's a total of 8 games around the league. Mini and Motor City hit the ice. The Cats scrap with the Jets as the Stars take on the Blue Jackets. And a couple new head coaches in the NFL. Jesse Minter has been hired as the bench boss for the Ravens. He spent the past 2 years as the Chargers offensive coordinator. Elsewhere, the Titans having former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to a 5-year deal. On the hardwood, Houston and Philly hit the deck at 5. Golden State visits Dallas before the Clippers challenge the Lakers at 8 o'clock. More with Reid Wilkins following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Outside of the core 4 up front, is Podkolzin the next most important forward on the team?
Outside of Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman? No. I'd say I'd put Roslovic ahead of him.
Oh, I think I'd probably take Podkolzin.
And then there's not much else after that.
Savoy and Howard will get into the conversation in a little while,
time.
I think. Yeah.
Give them
The
time.
Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation. With options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
Okay, hope you're having a great afternoon. Joaquin Gage was here. We were talking hockey, talking get back. He's the get back guy. Coaching journeys, all that fun stuff. Oilers Penguins tonight at 7 o'clock at Rogers Place. So right after this show ends at 6, we will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazola. Tom's going to join me at around 5:20 this afternoon. The Oilers 25-18-8 on the season. 12-7-4 at home. The Penguins on the road, pretty good, 13-7-4, and their overall record for the season, they are a point better than the Oilers with a couple of games in hand, 24-14-11, and we'll have some other discussions about this game as we move along throughout the afternoon. The off-topic topic for William Huff, a showdown of superstars you'd like to see. Koob, you like the MMA stuff. Did you say a couple of those came in?
Yeah, there was a few popping in the chat here. GSP, George St. Pierre, probably one of my favorite MMA fighters of all time, versus Habib Nurmagomedov, who stepped away early. He was like in his prime. He could still fight, but he decided to step away from the game, and he was undefeated in MMA. So that would have been big time.
Was he before? Like, I don't know much. Was he before or after GSP?
He was a bit of crossover, just a tad, but
were they the same weight?
GSP was earlier. He could have fought in the weight class.
They could have made it work.
They could go up and down. Yeah, they could kind of meet in the middle or play and fight at catch weight. That doesn't happen in UFC too much. But
was St. Pierre not in that Roadhouse movie with Gyllenhaal that came out a couple years ago? Was he in that?
That was McGregor for sure. That was McGregor who was in there.
I'm sorry.
He might have made an appearance, but there is...
No, I'm probably... Yeah. But has St. Pierre's been in movies, hasn't he? Or am I just thinking of McGregor?
He was in... I watched a full GQ interview on YouTube or something. He dove into some of the films that he's been in. And
I don't know if they were in those ones. Right. Yeah. But that Expendables series had guys from that realm too, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something.
Maybe it was McGregor. I'm thinking
he was in
of
a couple. Kickboxers Vengeance, probably not it. He was in the Captain America, apparently, Winter Soldier sometime as well. Yeah, he was in a few different movies, Cartels, Kings of Killers.
Okay, but it was McGregor who was in the Roadhouse.
The new Roadhouse,
movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I
was he the villain? Or I didn't watch.
He was
one.
very he was doing too much in the movie. Like he was way too over the top.
Chewing the scenery, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can fighter, but you can pretend to be a fighter if you're a real fighter. I'm sure you can. Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre also going at it.
Okay.
That would have been a
you would like to see that one?
Yeah. Yeah. Silva, big time striker.
Okay.
Like very evasive. The Spider against GSP.
What was his nickname? Just GSP?
Rush.
Oh, okay.
St. Pierre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that because he rushed guys?
Yeah, and maybe the Canadian tie-in too. I actually don't know why that was.
Okay, we'll find out. We'll have to get him on and ask him. All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. The afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the River Cree mobile app, free to download. Get exclusive offers and promotions. Get show tickets Make reservations for hotel rooms and restaurants. It's safe, secure, and it's easy to use. And the website, rivercreekresort.com. That's where you send your guesses for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's. All right? I'm going to give the second clue. The second clue is 102. 102. First clue was 70.
102.
Coob and I will watch the afternoon inbox for River Creek Resort and Casino. See if we get a winner. All right. Are you putting it in the nasty chat as well? By the way,
Yes.
if you're on YouTube and the nasty chat, give us a thumbs up if you've not already done so. We're 2/3 of the way to 100. Let's get there as quickly as possible. So don't be a pleasure delayer if you have not clicked.
I still love that term, pleasure delayer. Like,
thank you.
If you like the show, just please tell us and comments down below. But also, there's a big red button right below the show as well. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, because we're live regularly,
We're live
12
all
hours
the time,
daily.
Coop. We're never off.
We're never off.
We
even had
did a
EST
bonus
draft
show yesterday about doing chores, and people watched it.
Yeah, over 100 likes on that. There was a lot of viewership for that. But if you're on YouTube and you're not really seeing us in your feed, it might be because you haven't subscribed. So if you subscribe, you'll see us live in your feed and on your main page there on YouTube.
All right. Jay Mill not in today, but we're still doing this.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
And this is presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today. Go to the website, playalberta.ca. Don't forget to use your game sense. And what you do is you look for daily specials under sports, and then you click EST specials. So Jay's play of the day, I actually came up with this today. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do an Edmonton Oilers victory. Okay? So the Oilers win the game. Connor McDavid gets an assist, or one or more assists, and Zach Hyman gets 3 or more shots on goal. Now, I think this is a good one. I do the odds. Can you look up the odds the other way?
Okay.
I do them this way. This is how I think. And that's 2.85 to 1. Okay? So you can almost triple your money. Oh. And I thought, all right, the Oilers coming off a loss. They've been pretty good after losses. McDavid to get an assist is certainly not a stretch, even with Draisaitl out of the lineup, not on the power play. He does have 2 points a game in his career against the Penguins. And Hyman, 3 or more shots on goal. Well, it looks like the line of McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman is going to start the game together. They helped generate a ton of pressure as the game went on against the Devils. Hyman's also on the power play. And Hyman this year is averaging 3.09 shots per game. So he can actually be slightly below average and get 3 shots in this game, and you got to win.
I'd want to see him take 0.9 of a shot. Oh, that's like a whiff in the
point. Yeah. So the Oilers to win. What are the odds? The way they do the plus minus.
It is plus 185.
Okay.
185.
2.85 to 1. So McDavid get an assist, the Oilers to win, and Hyman to have 3 or more shots on goal. That is Jay's play of the day, presented by Play Alberta. Don't forget to use your game sense.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, Tristan Jarry expected to start in goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. They have won 8 of their last 9 against the Penguins. They have 4 consecutive home ice wins against the Penguins. They shut out the Penguins the last time Pittsburgh was in town, October 25th, 2024. They won the game 4-0. Stuart Skinner had the shutout for Edmonton against Pittsburgh. All right, 4 o'clock break. We'll visit with Ethan McKenzie, Canadian World Junior Team member on your Edmonton Oil Kings. Phil Bourque is coming up. Tom Gazola as well.
The Lock Shop.
Next season, you should be able to go to CFL.ca and sign up for either a 4-team league or a 6-team league with your buddies. I think the CFL desperately needs, and it was very awesome, being a part of the early steps of it. Yes, very cool.
You guys are pioneers of the CFL fantasy spaces, and I will commit we will do a WST league.
Imagine the signups for this thing in Saskatchewan.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems. But did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg, Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Where holiday cheer meets great beer. This season, celebrate at the Canadian Brewhouse. From plated dinners and festive buffets to casual pub-style parties, we've got the perfect space for your crew. Book your holiday party today at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
It's the Oilers and Penguins at Rogers Place tonight. Tristan Jarry gets the call for the home squad. Arturs Sheloff's expected for the Penguins. Join Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as they get you set for puck drop with coverage starting at 6 right here on EST. 4 games get going at 5 o'clock. The Knights and Bruins face off. The Sabres and Canadians match up as Carolina plays host to Chicago. And from LA, Zach Dooley, the manager of editorial content for the Kings, stated that Darcy Kemper is fine after having an injury scare Tuesday night against the Rangers. And a couple new head coaches in the NFL. Jesse Minter has been hired as the head coach of the Ravens, spending the past 2 seasons with the Chargers. Elsewhere, the Titans having former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to a 5-year deal. Over to the NBA, it's the Clippers and Lakers clashing in the Battle of LA. The Spurs and Jazz tipping off at 7 before the Blazers face the Heat. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Seal texting into the River Crew Resort and Casino inbox. St. Pierre is Batroc in Winter Soldier. Batroc, I think Batroc the Leaper. Isn't that what they call him in the Marvel comics and also the TV Captain America series? So there we go.
The more you know.
It's all settled. Very well done. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Reid Wilkins with you. Zachary Kubish is here as well. Jason Milne working today, but not in his usual capacity as the co-host of this show. He'll be back tomorrow for some Friday fun. Oilers and Penguins at 7 o'clock. So we'll have the Oil Stream GCL Diesel at 6 o'clock with Tom Gazola. Plenty to get you ready for this game. As we move along through the afternoon, you're going to hear a little bit from Chris Knobloch, from Matthias Ekholm, who's really been playing quite well for the Oilers after, like many players, he got off to a bit of a slow start. Really happy, though, to welcome this young man to the show. He's going to be featured in our Alberta Blue Cross Courageous Moment. Every great play starts with courage. Alberta Blue Cross is proud to support Albertans through all of life's meaningful moments. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you. Edmonton Oil Kings defenseman Ethan McKenzie is joining us on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Ethan, you're on with Reid. How are you today?
Good, yourself?
Doing very well. Thanks a lot for doing this. Man, oh man, a lot to talk to you about. Let's start with last night's game. You guys have been having a pretty good year, but tell us about the showdown last night.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the outcome we wanted. We didn't quite play the game we wanted to play. We came up pretty slow, and then we were on our back foot the rest of the game trying to catch up. So definitely not the game or the outcome we wanted, but I think we had a pretty decent bounce back for the way we started. I think we ended more the way we wanted to play, but still, it's not a regular game.
4-3 for Regina. You guys are home on Sunday at 4 against Saskatoon. Oilkings.ca if people want to check out your schedule and your tickets. Well, you've had quite a year, haven't you? And I know you hope there's more to come here. You got to play on the Canadian World Junior team. Tell us about the whole process of being picked for that team.
Yeah, that was actually a whirlwind of an experience. Like last year, didn't get much notice or anything. Didn't really talk to any of the Canada people at all. And then started this year, I had a couple talks with my agent and didn't really think anything of it. And they said they'd come out to watch a couple games, and that's about all I heard of it. And then about 2 weeks before our teddy bear toss, I got a call saying, "Can you fill out some information for us just in case if something were to happen?" And then after the teddy bear toss game, I got the call from the GM there, Alan Miller, and it was, "We'd like to invite you out to our World Junior Camp." And that was pretty much of a whirlwind of an experience going on from there. It flew by.
Now, how many guys were in the camp again?
I believe there was 9 defensemen, 14 forwards, and 3 goalies.
So they cut a couple guys, didn't they, or did everybody make it? They cut a couple guys?
They cut 2 forwards, defensemen, and they kept all 3 goalies.
All right, so even though you were there, the odds were in your favor, but it wasn't a sure thing. How competitive was it? And that's a relatively quick camp, right? How competitive was that?
Yeah, no, it was super competitive. All the players there, unbelievable players. Like, as you can see by their all being drafted in first and second rounds, they're there for a reason. So yeah, it was super competitive that first week of camp. That's kind of what they wanted, and they wanted it high pace the whole time. So it was a pretty fast, but it was a hard working camp.
Now and I know hockey players don't like talking about themselves, but I'm going to ask you to make an exception here for a talk show. What is it about your game, your attitude, your abilities, whatever you think, that do you think got the notice of Hockey Canada? Because a lot was made of. It was mentioned on the broadcast all the time. Oh, he hasn't been drafted. Nobody has his rights. He's out. He's the kid out of nowhere. All this stuff. Like, what do you think ultimately earned you a spot on the team?
Yeah, I think it was just kind of an accumulation of all my hard work and stuff I put in outside of the rink. My first couple of years in the league playing here for Edmonton didn't quite go the way I wanted to. I had a bunch of injury problems and everything. I wasn't able to really showcase myself the way I wanted to. And then coming out this year, I think it was just the mixture of my game. I like playing a heavy, hard game. I like playing both sides of the ice. I take pride in my defensive side of the game, take pride in producing for the team and helping the team out. So I think just the accumulation of all that put together and how much work I've put in outside, I think that kind of caught their eye at the start of the year. And then the start of the year I put up pretty decent numbers. So I think that also shined a pretty bright light in their eyes.
Well, I should let people listening know, for those who haven't seen you play for the Oil Kings, you do have a point a game as a defenseman, 36 points in 36 games. So that's pretty impressive. You know, you mentioned your work ethic. I hear from, some of the people who work for the Oil Kings and people who see you play that, you're very competitive. Where does that come from? I mean, did you always have it, even as a little guy, just that passion for hockey? Was there a parent or a mentor that really showed you the way? Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, for sure. I've always grown up with a hockey stick in my hand, so I've always had a little bit of competitiveness with me. And then I would have to give the credit to my mom, kind of building that compete and everything with me, because there's no easy games around the house. No board games go where it's happy just to play for fun. So it's always about winning in our house. So yeah, I have to give kind of credit to my mom there. We always have some pretty intense card games or battles around the house that get I'm pretty sore loser, so I don't like losing very much. So it'd be some fun games.
I mean, I don't want to make it sound like you're a small guy. Like your hockey DB says you're 6'1", 190. That's pretty solid. But it's also an era in the NHL where, like some decors in the NHL, like everybody's 6'5" or taller, right? So do you have to make up for that? Does that competitiveness help you make up against sometimes going up against bigger guys? Yeah, for sure. That's a big part of it. Being a smaller defenseman, I would classify myself as that too. So. Yeah, being a smaller defenseman, that competitiveness and the willingness to be able to go into those battles and go into those small areas and enjoy the gritty kind of side of the game, I feel like it would help me out quite a bit. All right, Ethan McKenzie from the Edmonton Oil Kings joining us on the Oil Country Towing Video Hotline. So you mentioned your mom and hockey as a kid and competitive household. Let everybody know where you grew up and where you started your minor hockey journey. Yeah, I grew up in Peachland, British Columbia. And I started playing for West Kelowna minor hockey. Okay, and how were you like typical start around when you're 5 or 6 or? I did power skating and stuff when I was 3, I think it was, pretty young, starting power skating. And then, I joined initiation, I think I was a 5 there. And then, I just kept playing throughout. And were you always one of the best players on your team or did you blossom a little later on? I would say I was top couple players when I was younger. I was a forward back then, so I was pretty offensive back then. And I had a couple buddies that we were always pretty much first line on our team and everything. And then there's a couple of years where I switched back to defenseman. I kind of dropped down a bit and wasn't quite a top-end player. I was more of a mid-pack. And then I think when I came here to Edmonton, I took another step and kind of regained that top-end kind of player. And what was it like? I mean, one thing I always admire about people who pursue, a high-end career in sports is you got to leave home, and maybe before you're ready or your parents might be ready. What was it like coming to Edmonton? Probably when you were 16? Yeah. I was actually pretty fortunate. I've had a lot of buddies that moved out when they're like 13, 14. So I was pretty fortunate to be at my house till I was 16. It was hard. Definitely the first couple months here was pretty hard and challenging to be away from the family and everything. But I got put into a great billet house, and they've done a tremendous job helping me out. So I can't be happier. Okay. Awesome stuff. I love hearing you tell your story. So now when you look at this Oil Kings team, thanks for telling us the story of Well, I got to ask you a couple things about the World Juniors. I'm not done. Because you played your teammate, right, in the semifinal? Yeah. Max Kern for Czechia. I know you guys wanted the gold medal, but I thought that was a tremendous hockey game. Yeah. I thought Max was awesome. Quite frankly, like how do you look back on that semifinal? Yeah, it's not quite the way you wanted to go, and not quite the way you dream of. But you can't be prouder of what we kind of accomplished there. We wanted to bring a medal back for Canada after the last couple of years that didn't quite go our way. We wanted to bring something back for us. So being able to go there and bring it back for us, I think you got to be proud of it. But also, it's not quite the way you wanted to go. But playing Max in that semis game was pretty interesting. We had a couple of bets on the first game and then kind of carried on to the second game. So it was you have a pretty good friendship with him going into it, and then on the ice you of course can't really show that at all. So you got to be going at it with each other. But after the game, we had pretty friendly talks and just kind of caught up and said congrats and just wished each other the best. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now you're focusing on the Oil Kings season. Look, you guys got a great team. I mean, you're one of 3 or 4 really elite teams in the league. I know you mentioned you had a stumble last night, but you got a great record. Why do you think it's been working, and what kind of things do you guys need to make sure you have clicking with the playoffs coming up here? Yeah, it's we have a pretty close team here. Like, we're very close. We enjoy hanging out with each other every day. We like going to the rink and pushing each other to get better. I think we do need to build on our in practices. We got to be more competitive against each other and kind of be able to push us to the next level. I think we've had a pretty strong team throughout the whole year, and we've kind of pushed the pace in a lot of the games. And as of recently, I think we've just kind of been comfortable just being that great team. I think we need to be able to push ourselves to be take that next step and take that next level. Okay, and now for you, I hate to bring this up again, but so you're turning 20 in September.
Yeah.
So you can still be drafted this summer?
Yeah.
So you think now, okay, now finally some NHL team's going to wise up and take me? Or how are you feeling here?
Yeah, it's always been a dream to try to get your name out there and want to get drafted. So hopefully we'll see what happens when it comes around to that time. But yeah, it was kind of my goal for this year is come out here and kind of prove it that they made a mistake last year not taking me. So I still got another strong half of the year coming that we got to kind of make up for it.
Okay, and then do you have any NHL teams or players that you look up to or maybe looked up to when you were a little guy?
I've always been a Dallas fan. I know it's probably not a regular one around here, but yeah, I grew up a Dallas fan. I played for a spring team that had the Dallas logo on my chest, so it kind of started me down that route. So I liked watching Heiskanen. I like watching Sagan, Ben, Kari Lehtinen, that old school kind of Dallas team back in 2010, 2013.
Oh yeah, that's real old school, man. That's ancient history. Yeah. Someday I'll tell you about the 1990s. Yeah. So, and were you all hockey all the time, or did you play any other sports or get good at any other sports along the way?
Yeah, I started playing soccer when I was 5, just playing a different sport. Always playing hockey, and then I played 1 year of competitive baseball. But I missed most of the games because I was playing hockey on the weekends for my spring team. So
okay,
I had to kind of pick between hockey and baseball, and hockey was always my thing. So I would never really question it between it.
But you did some soccer along the way too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're a great story. Good for you representing Canada. You got a medal. You guys played great. I know the junior teams always give it their all, and your team definitely did that. Game coming up, Sunday at 4? That's against the Blades is the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Well, all the best in that one. Good for you. I hope we can talk again. I really appreciate your time today. You're an excellent interview as well, Ethan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ethan McKenzie checking in from the Edmonton Oil Kings on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Great kid. Well, I guess he's not a kid, but great Oil King. Great story to make the World Junior team. Probably going to get drafted. Like you said, he's trying to prove some teams wrong for not taking him last summer, and he's definitely in the process of doing that. So I really appreciate it that he took the time to hop on this afternoon. We wanted to have him on ever since. And we try to get Max Kern on at some point as well. So that'll be pretty cool. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instance, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. I mentioned Jay's Play of the Day, which actually I put together today for the Oilers to win tonight, for McDavid to get an assist, and for Zach Hyman to have 3 or more shots on goal. Okay? So you can go to playalberta.ca, go to the app, look for daily specials, look for EST specials. Jay's Play of the Day is there. There's some other stuff posted there as well, put together by some of our great crew here. So that'll be pretty fun. We got some guesses coming in for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. None of them are correct, but that's okay. Most people have only used one guess, so you're biding your time. I'll give up the third clue maybe at the end of the next segment. I got to read this text. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox from Brother Morgs. It's addressed to you, Zach.
Oh.
Zach, that first sports update was flawless. Well done, Youngblood.
Youngblood. Oh. Well, thank you.
Well, you are doing a great job.
Hey, do my best. I've been doing it for a while now, Reid.
You're getting to be a vet. You're not a rookie anymore.
Well,
you're well into your second season.
Well, if I feel like I'm having a bad day, sometimes, you go back, check out the first updates that I did, and
or you just watch me and you're like, this guy's terrible. So how it's not hard to be better. If you're watching us on YouTube, first of all, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, love you for doing that. I know not everybody can include the video element in their afternoon here, but if you are on YouTube, or if you have time to pop into YouTube for a second, give the show a thumbs up. We need 14 thumbs for 100. Our daily show goal is 100 thumbs. We might get there before the halfway point of the show, and then we're just pouring gravy all over ourselves.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, Oilers Penguins tonight at 7 o'clock. We're going to dive into some storylines for that game. How about Matthias Ekholm? He's doing some great stuff lately. Here is a sports update with the Coop.
Games in the NHL tonight. The Oilers take on the Penguins. Tristan Jarry facing his former team. And Artur Shilovs gets the nod for Pittsburgh. Catch Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson as they preview the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. That gets going at 6 right here on EST. And injury news around the league. Jonas Brodin will miss the Olympics for Team Sweden. He underwent surgery to target a lingering lower body issue. He's expected to return for Minnesota before the end of season. Meanwhile, Darcy Kemper is all right after leaving Tuesday's game against the Rangers with an injury scare. His arm went limp near the end of the first period after having a collision in the crease, with a pinched nerve being the cause of the issue for the King. NFL news, Jesse Minter has been hired as the bench boss for the Ravens. He spent the past 2 seasons as the Chargers offensive coordinator. And from Tennessee, the Titans have inked Robert Saleh to a 5-year deal to become their head coach. To the NBA, it's Houston and Philly hitting the deck at 5. Golden State visiting Dallas before the Clippers challenge the Lakers at 8 o'clock. This Sports Update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Paramount Flooring wants to give you more. Get free premium underlay included with any in-stock carpet purchase. Are you ready to treat your feet? Catch them in-store or online at ParamountFlooring.ca. We take a brief pause in the show. Reid Wilkins continues it on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Jamie McLennan. I think it's always great, especially in our line of work. You know, the Mount Rushmore of players from generations. Everyone, you know, Bobby Orr, Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby. And I think McDavid's going to be one of those Mount Rushmores. You might have to just slide another head in on the mountain.
Yeah, just expand the mountain a little bit.
Why not? Exactly.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
So first of all, somebody who I believe has never texted us before. The River Crew Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Put in a question, how do I submit a guess for the mystery athlete? Text it to where you sent that text. 780-218-9999. Send it right to that number. Can you maybe reply to them, Coop, and say, send it here. Send it here. Maybe they're going to win.
They're in their spot. Send it now. Send
Do
it now.
live.
I'm doing it live.
Yeah, so that's cool. Somebody wants to win. We'll give the third clue. I'll try to give it at the end of this segment, like 10 or 15 minutes. First two clues were 70 and 102. All right. So to that person, thank you for listening. Thank you for sending what I believe is your first text, and maybe you'll win. That's pretty cool. Also, I neglected something during the Ethan McKenzie interview. He is one of 4 Oil Kings who will be playing for Team East at the WHL Prospects game on February 18th in Vancouver. So another chance for him to say, hey, scouts, you screwed up.
Well, he's only 19.
But he could have been drafted the last draft, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it happens. You get passed over.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been.
What? Yeah, he's playing real good right now.
He's good. Anyway,
excellent.
So one of 4 Oil Kings going to that. So that's another cool angle for him.
That's still a bit weird. Like, I mean, being in Western Canada, calling it the Eastern Conference for the Oil Kings, like it's odd. I mean, I know it's
right, because the Edmonton, the Alberta and Saskatchewan teams are the Eastern Conference, and then the BC and USA teams, the American teams, as some people would call them, are the Western Conference. Yeah.
Good to know. I'm replying right now. There was a guess actually from this person.
Okay, good.
River Cree inbox.
Oh, it is there
you got
already?
3 guesses. So if you don't get it right the first time, you have 2 others. But 3 strikes and you're out.
Right. Oh, so he sent in his first guess. He's not correct. That's fine. Oh, yeah, the other Oil Kings going to the game. Somebody in the Nest chat's like, say the other players. I'm not sure I'm going to say the one gentleman's name right. Noah Tamu, along with Andrew O'Neill and Dylan Dean. They're all going. So pretty cool. All right, 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. Mr. Milne is not here today. Chet Palmer still asked him what was in his pocket in the headlines for 100.3 The Bear. Jay will be back tomorrow. We'll have fun tomorrow, Coob. We'll probably do a Name the Animal. Benny will probably... What's the thing that people say that he makes me and Jay look like unks? Is that the word for like a silly...
Somebody who's...
An outdated man?
Yeah, uncool.
We've passed our prime, so to speak.
Yeah, a little bit. I
don't think Jay's past his prime.
Out of touch, but that right around that kind of... That's a connotation it has.
Okay.
Being called an unk. Yeah, you're just...
short for
you just
like...
don't get it, Reid.
Short for the old uncle.
Yeah. Or... It also... you could look at it as this, though. Uncool, but just drop the double O and L.
So it's got a double meaning.
Yeah, I guess I've seen it online.
Is it specifically directed at men?
I feel like it's usually been used for... I haven't seen really many women be called...
So is it short for uncle or uncool, or do they both work?
They both work, but mainly it's uncle, but you could be an uncool uncle, so you can be an unk.
Well, it's good to have goals, Scoop, and now I have one. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. Oh my goodness!
Keep dreaming, Reid.
I will. I'm gonna dream big.
You're gonna aspire.
Here's the effort I'm gonna put into dreaming big. That's me in my sleep.
That's a lot of panting. Yeah.
We need 3 thumbs to get us over 100. Now, if you come in and you haven't clicked the thumbs up and you see it at 100, still click if you haven't clicked already. It's just we like to get to 100 as that goal, and it helps build the algorithm for the show. We're not just begging for thumbs just to make ourselves feel good. We work here. We want the station to get big. We want it to keep growing. It's been growing a lot over the last 2.5 years, so it's just a little thing you can click and help building the algorithm for the show on YouTube. All right, let's do the Oil Understood. It's presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel.
Understood.
Yeah. 7 o'clock game. That was pretty good, Coop.
I got really
That was
excited
surprisingly enthusiastic. Enthusiasm's good. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, maybe over the top a little bit, like Conor McGregor in Roadhouse there. Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, when you and Jay get
It's fine. All right, so Oilers at Penguins tonight. Here's how we expect the Oilers to be deployed by head coach Chris Knobloch. Now, with 11 forwards, these combinations could change around quite a bit. But based on yesterday's practice, McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, Roslovic between Howard and Savoy, Lazar with Janmark and Mangiapane. That leaves Podkolzin and Frederick as the boys without a center, or the boys without a third line mate. You're going to have other players rotating through there. They'll probably play with other duos as well. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Emberson on defense, Wallman and Stastny together. Alec Regula, the seventh defenseman. He was very much that a couple of days ago, as he only played, I think it was 2 minutes, 35 seconds. It was under 3. Tristan Jarry will be the goaltender. He will start his second straight game. Here's head coach Chris Knobloch on that decision.
Yeah, I think with the amount of shots that he had the other night, but also the fact that we had a day off on Monday and we're going to have another day off on Friday, that his workload had been lower so that he could handle this game tonight.
All right. Yeah, they've been talking about not overplaying Jarry since he came back from injury, and now he will play in his second consecutive game. They fool me again. I thought they'd keep alternating. I didn't think they would worry too much about him playing his old team, Pittsburgh, since he did that shortly after being traded to Edmonton from Pittsburgh. But it will be Jarry again tonight, who, for the season, pretty good, 13-4-2. This is his Pittsburgh and Edmonton numbers combined, 13-4-2, 2.61 goals against average, .908 save percentage. So we get Jarry. We expect Shilovs to go for Pittsburgh after Skinner helped Pittsburgh win in Calgary last night. Vasily Podkolzin. We've been talking a lot about him. Now today, again, maybe he doesn't start on a specific line. He rotates around a little bit. Chris Knobloch?
I see Pods as a first line left winger or second line left winger, whether he's playing with Leon or Connor. And right now with, some uncertainty with our lines, Nuge playing center or Roslovic or Draisaitl. But I think long term, it's probably him playing with Leon. And, those two have been together for a long time. Kapanen coming back, hasn't played very many games this year because of obviously his injuries. But when he did come back, that line looked energized. They looked like they could score on a regular basis. So when those three are together, available, that's something I'd like to let run for a while.
Yeah, that's the line that Knobloch wants, is Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Podkolzin, the only player from that line available tonight. He said he sees him as, a first or second line winger. And the numbers back that up. Jay and I dove into that yesterday. Podkolzin is third amongst Oilers forwards in 5-on-5 points. He trails only McDavid and Draisaitl. Podkolzin has more 5-on-5 points than Hyman. Now, Hyman's scoring rate is better because he missed a bunch of games. So Hyman's going to pass Podkolzin there. It'll be interesting to see if Nugent Hopkins passes Podkolzin, because Podkolzin's 5 points ahead of him in 5-on-5 scoring. And as much as I think a lot of us love and respect the Nuge and understand what he does, he is a bit of a special teams specialist. I think, what did Jed Roberts say? I've called him in the past, a special teams wizard. Doesn't mean he's bad 5-on-5. He certainly contributes to the line with McDavid and Hyman, but he doesn't rack up a ton of points 5-on-5. So Podkolzin has been very good in that regard. Tonight we'll see who he plays with. Again, might be a bit of a rotation, but he's a pretty good story this season. What about the Oilers team game? A little more from the head coach.
I think the last 78 games, actually, if you even go back before that, I've been looking at, usually expected goals gives you a good indication of how you're playing. And I think it's, you look back about 15 games, I think 2 of them expected goals were outplayed. Other than that, we've been outplaying the other team. And not that that's always the indication of winning and losing, but it gives you a good idea of, are you doing more good than bad? And I think, over that last month, there's been more good. So we got to continue doing that. Now just finding ways we can win games. And that's whether it's those little things, one less turnover, one less penalty against, or just putting the puck in the net. But overall, I like what we've been doing.
All right. We'll see where this season goes. But we have the beauty of hindsight with the last couple of seasons. When the Oilers, Knobloch was still a new coach with the team, they had a loss right against Carolina where they played pretty well in the third period and then beat Washington 5-0 a day or two later. And then eventually, I think they won 8 in a row, lost 3 in a row, won 16 in a row. But that's kind of looked back on as a game that turned it around. I wonder if, and I do think the Oilers are going to make the playoffs. We'll see how much damage they can do there. But I wonder if this season, if the turnaround, if you want to call it that, perhaps not as dramatic as 2 years ago, but on November 20th, they were playing game 6 of a 7-game road trip. They went into Tampa Bay. They played pretty hard. I mean, they did get outplayed, but they played pretty hard. Tampa Bay tied it late. They won in overtime. Pickard had one of the best starts of the year. So going into that game, the Oilers were 9-9-4. So they went to 9-9-5. But including that Tampa Bay game, since November 20th, they're 16-9-4. Not an awesome record, not certainly what they did a couple of years ago, but solid, banking a lot of points along the way. Since that overtime loss to Tampa Bay, only once have they lost back-to-back games in regulation. They had a blip coming out of Christmas here. They lost to Calgary. They beat Winnipeg. They lost back-to-back in regulation to Boston and Philadelphia. They responded to that by going 3-0-2 in their next 5. And then since then, they've lost to the Islanders, beat Vancouver, beat St. Louis, and lost to New Jersey. So, a loss tonight, then we're kind of in a bit of a blip part again. But 16-9-4 since November 20th. So better hockey, pretty good points percentage, and clearly one that's going to secure them a playoff spot if they keep playing like that. Matthias Ekholm, the big defenseman, was asked if the Oilers are playing their best hockey.
I think we're getting closer to it for sure. I don't think we've had too many bad games, so to speak, or timing games as of late. I think we know what to do to be successful. I think we have done that in most of our hockey lately, at least. Obviously, it's not perfect, and nothing's going to be perfect, but and with saying that, I'm not saying everything's perfect as of right now, and we always are a work in progress, and you try to perfect it as much as possible, but there's usually a team on the other side trying to deny that. So I do think we're on the right path, and I think we've played some good hockey. It's just about bringing it every night.
Yeah, clearly a couple of days ago against the Devils, they didn't bring it until the third period, but the fewer self-inflicted mistakes, more or less really, really bad games. They're more or less in every game, and they've been able to bank a few points along the way. Ekholm is quite a story himself. He got the contract extension right before the season. He, like a lot of Oilers, didn't start the season well. I know, Jay and I heard some questions and some texts. Well, is he past his prime? Is this the big drop-off? Is that contract extension going to wind up looking real bad? Well, I'll tell you what. So I'm mentioning since that November 20th game, including that November 20th game and onward, the Oilers have played 29 games, and a lot of guys have really good numbers. For example, McDavid has 53 points in the 29 games since then. Draisaitl's played 26 games, has 41 points. This is a team that still has some minus players. Most players are plus since that game on November 20th. How about Matthias Ekholm? Since that game in Tampa Bay, including that game in Tampa Bay and onward. 29 games, 2 goals, 12 assists for 14 points, and he leads the team with a plus 20. Like, that's classic Ekholm right there. Remember when he joined the team, when he was traded for Tyson Barrie, and he was like exactly plus 1 per game the rest of the season. So he's plus 20 over the last 29 games.
Yeah, I think it's been better for sure. It's also, with the injury that I had and coming back early, I didn't feel as comfortable skating as I am now. Obviously, it's been a road for that, and just trying to. I feel like right now I'm in a really good spot where I don't really think about anything going on in my body. I feel great that way, so I can just focus on the game. And usually when you can do that, it's your numbers are going to be better and you're going to feel better about your games.
Yeah, so he's been really, really good. I know plus minus. I always have to say this isn't the be-all and end-all. But over these last 29 games, Bouchard plus 12, Hyman plus 13, Nuge plus 6, Podkolzin plus 11, Ekholm plus 20, Savoy's plus 6, Emberson is plus 7. There are some minuses. Regula has struggled He's -9. Roslovic -6. So, but a lot better results here over the last couple of months. So, we'll see if the Oilers can keep it going. I think they got to take advantage of this homestand. To me, 10 points is the bare minimum to consider it any sort of success. Really, hopefully you can get 12 out of 16 points going along, but you got to bounce back tonight against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Crosby and Malkin in town. We're going to look at some of the best players of this century. A couple guys playing in tonight's game might make that list. We, of course, are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. People asking where Jay is. He does have other stuff to do. He's a busy guy. He's at a function with Dustin Nielsen this afternoon. He'll be back tomorrow. Canadian Brewhouse studio. Pizza Sunday is back at the Canadian Brewhouse after 4 p.m. Grab an 8-inch 2-topping pizza for just $9.99. Wash it down with $6.99 doubles and $1 off Bud Light tankards. Also, Phil Bourque, Penguins broadcaster, is going to join us at 5 o'clock. Here's the Coop.
And Penguins match up at Rogers Place. Tristan Jarry gets a call for the home squad. Arturs Sheloff's expected for the Penguins. Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show to get you set for puck drop coverage starting at 6 right here on EST. 4 games get going at 5 o'clock around the NHL. Kings Knights, and Bruins face off. The Sabres and Canadians match up while Carolina plays host to Chicago. And from LA for the Kings, Zach Dooley, the manager of editorial content down in the States, reported that Darcy Kemper is fine after having an injury scare Tuesday night against the Rangers that forced him to leave the game in the first period of action. A couple new head coaches in the NFL. Jesse Minter has been hired as the bench boss for the Ravens. He spent 2 seasons with the Chargers. Elsewhere, it's the Titans inking former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to a 5-year deal. To the NBA, the Clippers and Lakers clash in the Battle of LA. The Spurs and Jazz tip off at 7 before the Blazers face the Heat. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at AdvantageSportMed.ca to book an appointment today. More with Reid Wilkins after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
EST Hangout.
It's perfect for this year because Matt Stafford is going to win MVP. In my opinion, that he's going to win it. He's the most outstanding player of the year based on his numbers and what the Rams did and what he was able to achieve for them this year. But there's no way that Matt Stafford is more important to his team than May or Allen or CMC.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Sentinel Storage presents Team Canada ice dancers Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier on Support from Home.
We're celebrating all the people at home, the people that have supported us. We know our community is going to be cheering for us, and we know the country is going to be cheering for us.
Thank you, Canada. Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Team Canada.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
EST Afternoons.
Joe Brand, the radio voice of the Pittsburgh Penguins. How has Stuart Skinner adapted to being in Pittsburgh, and how has he looked?
I think he just kind of went through a whirlwind of a change, being an Edmonton guy and being only with one team his entire career, and then all of a sudden his life gets kind of flipped around, and then there was the Christmas break, and I think the Christmas break helped out a lot. I think the numbers say it all.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
UFC 324 is live Saturday, January 24th at the Canadian Brewhouse. With TVs at every turn, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop action, you won't miss a second of the fight. UFC 324, live at the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
the oil stream.
Outside of the core four up front, is Podkolzin the next most important forward on the team?
Outside of Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman? No. I'd say I'd put Roslovic ahead of him.
Oh, I think I'd probably take Podkolzin.
And then there's not much else after that.
Savoy and Howard will get into the conversation in a little
Give them
while,
time.
I think. Yeah.
Give them
The
time.
Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away.
All right, here's the deal. You can use today's modern cellular phone technology to text the afternoon inbox 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. They're turning 20 this year. Big 10-month-long promotion until October 26th with over $1 million in prizes, 35 winners of $20,000 in casino free plays, 9 brand new cars, 56 winners of $1,000 in cash. Great stuff going on. Look for more at rivercreeresort.com. That's where you check out the show tickets and what's coming up and all that fun stuff. So if you want to text us, that's where you reach us, 780-218-9999. If you just want to text in thoughts on the show, the Oilers, sports, whatever you want, life, or where you submit a guess for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Clue number 3 is 127. First clue was 70. Second clue, 102. Third clue, 127. I think there's a chance someone might get it now, Coop.
It's a lot of numbers.
Well, what can you say?
Not much.
You can't. You can say whatever you want.
I don't want to give it away, Reid.
You don't want to give it away. So that's clue number 3 in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Okay? We'll keep an eye out for it. As we do, again, Phil Bourque at the top of the hour. Love talking to Phil. Great analyst. Loves the Penguins. Former Penguin. Great storyteller. Tom Gazola, my buddy from the Oil Stream, EST colleague, will check in at 5:20 this afternoon. Coob's going to give me the words of the day before we sign off at 6 and hand it over to Tom. So we got a lot to do. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home. Or we got a winner. You're going to have to find out who they are.
I will.
We won't give it away yet. I got interrupted. I got so excited someone got it. I'll just start over, Damon. Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. All right, you're contacting we need to get a handle or a name or something like that. We'll give out the right answer in a couple of minutes. So, buying or selling, and I want audience participation. I request audience participation for this. You can post in the nasty chat as well. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. We are well past 100. Let's see how high we can go today. Again, once you've already clicked the thumbs up, don't click it again because then it'll negate your previous click. So send the show link off to somebody else and encourage them to check us out for a while, make us part of their daily routine, and give us a thumbs up. So here's the thing, Coop. What year is it?
2026.
What's the star date? I'm going to Google that right now.
The star date?
What is today's star date? From Star Trek.
Oh.
Star Trek star date calculator.
Is this like astrology for nerds?
The star date is 296940.5. Okay? There you go.
Okay.
So this century goes back to the year 2000.
It does.
So if you had to do an NHL All-Star team for this century, who would be on it? Now, remember how they do the All-Star teams, like at the end of the season. 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a goaltender from the 21st century. I think the forwards are easy.
Yeah. Sidney Crosby, McDavid. And
well,
Evgeni.
maybe they're not. That's my 3.
That's got to be the 3. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like Joe Thornton or Nathan McKinnon.
Very
or
awesome
Kucherov,
players, but we got to nail it down to 3 guys.
Yeah, it's got to be Ovechkin. Like those 3 on a line alone, you don't even need defensemen. Just put those 3.
Well, I mean, they're not going to play together, but we're picking a century so far all-star team. Okay? So 3 forwards. Now, people can submit their own, but we're actually agreeing on that. McDavid, Crosby, and Ovechkin. Who are your 2 defensemen?
Defenseman is, you could go a couple different ways. I think left side is a no-brainer. It's got to be Victor Hedman for me.
Okay.
I've always liked his plays. He's still playing fantastic even today. And then probably Cale Makar. The first 2 names that come to mind for me.
All right.
What do you have?
I have Hedman. I didn't worry about which way they shoot.
Oh.
I have Hedman on the team, on my little mini all-star team, the all-star line. I have Hedman. He's played over 1,000 games. He's been a great player. I have Nick Lidstrom.
That was also the other option I had.
Because like he's still won like a lot of. I brought this up earlier to you. Was it you or Trevor earlier today? And one of you was like, "Well, but he's more from the '90s." He won 7 Norris trophies in the 2000s.
See that
like you can ignore what he did in the '90s. So I go Lidstrom and Hedman. I think obviously Makar is sensational. I do think something like this longevity has to factor into it. For me. So that's why I go Lidstrom and Hedman.
That's tough because, he won 2 Stanley Cups in the 2000s after going back-to-back in the 90s for Lindstrom. Won 01, 02, and then 07, 08 with the Wings there. I always think of him as a 90s player for some reason as well.
But really, he was dominant till right near the end of his career.
Well, he split his careers in, it's 20 years in the NHL or whatever it was. Yes, exactly 20 years. In half, that's 2 careers, 2 cups on either side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't ignore Lidstrom. So you had Hedman and Makar. I have Lidstrom and Hedman. Chris has Makar and Hedman. Mex has Hedman and Carlson, who I think is outstanding, but I wouldn't put him in my final 2. He does have Crosby, McDavid, and Ovechkin up front. I don't know if we're going to get McDavid's played long enough to me that he can be on this list.
Oh, by far, yeah.
I mean, several Art Ross trophies, Hart trophies. There has been team success too. So that's an interesting one. All right, who's your goaltender? Who's your all-star goaltender for the 21st century?
Yeah, I always love this goaltender growing up, and when he retired, I got a bit sad. I got to be honest. He's great for the game before he set back, but it's got to be Carey Price for me. He showed up in the big moments. He never had a good team when he played. Like for the first time Carey Price never had a player on his team who had over 82 points per game.
Yeah,
he never had an all-star team. But
he never had a McDavid. Like he never even really had Suzuki's pretty good. If he had Pacioretty.
For quite some time, the Suzuki crossover was there, but
he never even had like a 90-point guy or an 85-point guy.
And he always highlight reel saves almost every single game for Carey Price. And it might be a bit of an exaggeration, but a personal pick of somebody that I like. Had great numbers, won the Hart in 14-15, I believe it was. It's got to be Carey Price.
Okay. This was a tough one. I'm going with Vasilevsky. I had Price down as a possibility. I had Fleury down as a possibility. Fleury's actually the wins leader.
Yeah.
But I'm giving the edge to Vasilevsky. I mean, I always thought Lundqvist was a great goalie. You look at Luongo's stats; they're pretty impressive as well. You could even probably make an argument for Hellebuck, quite frankly, but I'm going to go with Vasilevsky. Chris voting for Joaquin Gage, which is great.
That is fantastic, actually. This is in the All-Star team since the 2000s, century team. This is the most, I guess, difficult position out of all the ones.
Well, because you can only pick one.
Yeah, it's not like you're picking the backup, right?
Yeah.
Like Mark.
Like we're just doing the way they do like the first all-star team at the end of the season. 3 forwards, 2D, and a goaltender.
Yeah.
So you'd go with Price. I think he would be mentioned by a lot of people. JW has Lundqvist. He has Lidstrom and Karlsson. And then he has Ovechkin, Crosby, and McDavid. I have not seen anybody suggest a forward other than McDavid, Crosby, and Ovechkin.
Seriously?
That I've seen.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox and the Nasty Chat.
It's hard to pick like a Kucherov over a Crosby.
Real Dudley going with Price.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Price there might be more people for Price. I like the Lundqvist suggestion. I mean, he was an awesome goaltender, but it seems to have come down to 4 defensemen: Makar, Hedman, Lidstrom, and Karlsson. Though Karlsson wouldn't be there for me with the other 3. Personally,
yeah, he would be a tier below.
Well, there's still incredibly high tier.
Yeah,
like we're splitting tiers of the highest tier
by a hair. I mean, you could put Chris Letang up there.
I wouldn't put him that high.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a break because Phil's going to join right at 5. The Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game was Jaromir Jagr. Polar Bear, is that the handle this individual wants to use? Okay.
Well, I guess they said a polar bear.
Well, that's fine. A polar bear has won. Kubo let it.
You don't even have to be human
let
to win.
The polar bear how to win. So the clues were 70, 102, 127. The 2 I didn't get to were 96 and 121. Jaromir Jagr won the Art Ross Trophy as a Penguin 5 times. Those were his 5-point totals for those seasons. So that's how we arrived at that. All right, 5 o'clock break. Phil Bourque and Tom Gazola coming up.
2 guys and a goalie.
The Colorado Avalanche are the only team in the West that Oilers fans should really be afraid of. Hired or fired?
Fire it.
Fire it.
Who else would
Vegas
fans
Golden
legitimately
Knights.
be afraid of, though?
You don't want to look at the Vegas Golden Knights right now and still...
I'll look at them, but I wouldn't be afraid of them if I was an Oilers fan.
It's not Vegas. For me, it's Dallas.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Sentinel Storage presents Team Canada Ice Dancers, Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier on Support from Home.
We're celebrating all the people at home, the people that have supported us. We know our community is going to be cheering for us, and we know the country is going to be cheering for us. Thank you, Canada.
Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Team Canada.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses. Because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
With 8 games in the NHL tonight, the Oilers take on the Penguins. Tristan Jarry faces off against Artur Shilovs in the crease, and you can catch Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson as they preview the game during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. That goes live at 6 right here on EST. Injury news, Jonas Brodin will miss the Olympics for Team Sweden, undergoing a surgery for a lower body ailment earlier today. He's expected to return before the end of season for the Wild. NFL news, Jesse Minter has been hired as a bench boss for the Ravens. He spent 2 years with the Chargers. And from Tennessee, the Titans have inked Robert Saleh to a 5-year deal to have them become their head coach. To the NBA, it's Houston and Philly hitting the deck in just a moment. Golden State visits Dallas before the Clippers challenge the Lakers at 8 o'clock. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Hope you're having a great afternoon. Penguins, Oilers tonight at Rogers Place. Penguins are 24-14-11. Pretty good road team, 13-7-4. Almost identical to the Oilers' home record of 12-7-4. The Oilers overall 25-18-8. Kapanen still out for the Oilers. Leon Draisaitl still dealing with a personal issue, so he will not play this evening either. These teams played earlier in the season, shortly after the trade for the goaltenders, and the Oilers got the victory in that one. Draisaitl picked up career point number 1,000 in that game. At 6 o'clock, we'll have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show hosted by Tom Gazola. If you're watching us on YouTube this afternoon, and if you have not done so already, please give us a thumbs up. We have had a winner in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Jaromir Jagr was today's mystery athlete. Okay, we're going to go to the Oil Country Towing Hotline. Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team, fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. I love talking to this guy. We've been chatting, usually leading into Oilers-Penguins games for several years. He's always entertaining and has great perspective from the Penguins Radio Network and, of course, a 2-time Cup champ with the team in the 90s. Phil Bourque is here. Phil, it's Reid. How are you doing?
Reid, how you doing, buddy? I'm not surprised that you're sponsored by a towing company. By hook or crook, you'll get you on your way. I absolutely love it. Good to be on your show, like always.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you. So you lived in Pittsburgh, and I know you've told me great stories about Germany. Like any snowstorms you had to get towed out of, or any towing situations you found yourself in?
Oh, you kidding me? Plenty of them. I'll tell you what. When I first got drafted, I was supposed to get drafted, but I was working. I don't know if I told you this story. I was never drafted, but I was working at a gas station in my hometown, and the tow truck driver he quit out of nowhere, and I said, "Oh, I'll do it," because I thought maybe I can make a few extra bucks on the side. I'd never driven a tow truck before. I had no idea how to back up or anything, and so I told the boss that, and he said, "Okay, well, I can show you how to, back up with a car on the back, and I'll show you how to hook up, and you'll be fine." And so I did it for a whole summer long. I had no idea what I was doing, to the point where I was driving through downtown Chelmsford, Mass, my hometown, and I was really rushed one time to hook a car one time to get it to a repair shop. As I was driving through downtown, I noticed a car passing me on the left, going right to the front lawn of the town library and parking itself or running right into a bush. I was like, wow, that looks like the car that I'm hooking right now. I looked in my rearview mirror. It wasn't there anymore.
Oh, no.
It had fallen off the truck. And it passed me through downtown Chelmsford. Luckily, it just settled into a grassy knoll, and I was able to pull it out and back it out and hook it up again and be on my way.
Again, you always have a great story, even when I spring the topic on you. But, that's your attitude, and that's often the attitudes of people who get far in life or in sports. Like the coach says, "Hey, I need someone to kill penalties." "Oh, yeah, coach, I can do that," even if you've never done it before.
I've done it. I've done it for years. Put me in, coach. Exactly.
All right. And thanks for being so generous with your time. We want to hit on the Penguins headlines. I got to start with your impression when it initially happened of the Jarry-Skinner trade, and then, of course, some thoughts on seeing Skinner as a Penguin since then.
Well, I'll choose my words carefully because I don't want to be construed that there's any kind of a backhand compliment to Tristan Jarry. But obviously, there were some rocky days for Tristan Jarry. My personal relationship was great with Tristan. I really enjoyed just our talks about family and travel and just nonsense, So you've got a good one that way. He's a good guy, and he really wants to win. But obviously things didn't go great with him with the Penguins over the last few years. I will say this: he's playing some of his best hockey when that trade was made. And I kind of went on a talk show like this in Pittsburgh, and I said, "Okay, fans, he's giving you what you want." All you wanted him traded so much. Now he's playing back to Tristan Jarry hockey. Now you can, this is what you wanted, right? So don't, when we moved him, there were some people like, whoa, wait a minute here. Maybe he could get us to the playoffs now. Oh, you can't have it both ways. So you got a guy that's playing some of his best hockey again. He has found something. He's found that confidence. He's playing a little more towards the top of his crease now. We know how athletic he is for a guy that's 6'3". He plays the puck as good as anybody in the National Hockey League. And so this is a long-winded answer to your short question, but I was not surprised. There was so many rumblings about this deal going down. What I am probably the most surprised at is the bounce back of Stuart Skinner. As you know, the first game against the Oilers was, to put it mildly, ugly. It was 6-4 the game, but it wasn't that close. And the next two games after that didn't look past the eye test either. But since then, Reid, he has been dialed. And now you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it enough. He is absolutely dialed in. He's calm, he's cool, collected, and he's just oozing confidence right now. And I guess your guy now, Tristan Jarry, is doing the same. So I think at the end of the day, the short answer is a good hockey trade for both clubs.
Yeah, and we've seen Connor Ingram, of course, in goal for the Oilers be a pretty good story, too. So we'll see where that goes. Man, oh, man, that Eastern Conference, Phil, I feel if I go more than a few days without looking at the standings, like the team that was 4 points out of the playoffs is now in. It's been pretty tight. The Penguins are right there. Obviously, they got some incredible high-end guys, some legends. I know there's some they're banged up a bit on the back end. What do they have to do here now into the final half of the season to sort of solidify being a playoff team?
Yeah, a little sidebar that Chris Letang and Erik Karlsson missed last night's game in Calgary. I was just at the coach's scrum, and Erik Karlsson's going to be back in. So with that said, you're right. It is a bunch of moving chairs right now. When the music stops, you better have a chair because that's the way the Eastern Conference is right now. We woke up this morning, number 2 in the Metropolitan Division, and we're hunting down the Carolina Hurricanes. You go back to right before the Christmas break when the Penguins were 1-5-4. The last game before the Christmas break was in Toronto. The Penguins stunk, to put it mildly. They were not good, and you're like, oh, my goodness, what is going on with this team? Because they were so good in October. I don't know if they went to Christmas Mass all together and genuflected and lit a candle together, Reid, but they've come out of the Christmas break. They're 9-2-2. As I mentioned, they got themselves not only back up into a wild card spot, but now number 2 in the Metro, hunting down the Carolina Hurricanes. That's how quick things can change when you get a little bit toasty. So that's why this game is so important for the Penguins. They went through that horrific spell of 10 games. You remember some of those losses. They were gut-wrenching and heartbreaking, where they were losing in the last second of the game to Anaheim and all kinds of overtime and shootout losses where they had the lead in the third period. They've come through that on the other side, and I think they're a better team for it.
Okay, I know you got to go soon. I just want to get in one more. You mentioned the Penguins' record since Christmas. It's been a good January. The Oilers are having a pretty good January. If they can take advantage of home ice, it'll be a great January. We've seen this from this Oilers team before, where they really start to get going Christmas, January. Is that a thing? And maybe I'm referring more to your experience as a player, too. Are there certain veteran teams, you played on Penguins teams that won cups, where they're kind of like, okay, enough screwing around. Now we got to lock in. Now we know where it's going.
You know what I did, and I don't know if I speak for every player, but I would kind of put lines in the sand, of Christmas break, of All-Star break. This year it's an Olympic break, right? You kind of put that line in the sand and like how hard listen, you play 82 games. You can't go 100% every single game. Not that you're kind of managing it, but you kind of are managing your energy. But when you see that finish line of the Olympic break on February the 5th, some teams it's February the 4th, you say, okay, that's 9 games in 17 days or whatever it is. Okay, this is how I'm going to manage my body, manage my energy, and really make that push, because I know I'm going to get 3 weeks off for the majority of the league. So, and then you look at the trade deadline too. Like, how bad do you want to be on the team if you're a bubble guy, and you make that push to make sure you're on the team on that trade deadline day? So again, that doesn't apply to a lot of the elite guys maybe, but for guys like me that were, the majority of the league that were kind of in the middle most of their career, that's how I kind of broke down the season.
Phil, you're the best. I hope we got time to at least say hi quickly tonight. I love having you on the show. I will say this, though. If I need a tow, I will not be calling you.
Don't call me, because I'll lose your car. I promise you.
All right. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Okay, Reid. Enjoyed it. Good hockey talk.
Phil Bourque from the Penguins Radio Network checking in. He always has an incredible tale to tell. Something from his life, from his career. So he steps up as the tow truck driver in his hometown of Massachusetts to make a little extra money, and with no experience, and he's towing a car, and then he sees a car. What did he say? Going onto the lawn of the city hall or something?
Oh, wow!
And he's like, "Wow, the car looks exactly like the one I'm towing."
Yeah, that's some courage to want to tow cars, not knowing how to do it, but. How do you get hired when well,
they needed somebody.
He
just said he could do it.
All right. Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. You want to drive this big bus? Oh, well, I'll do it. But hey, things like that, man, that's just insane to have a story like that in the back pocket. And you say that almost every time when he chats with you. When you ask him a question about something, spur of the moment, you got a story in your back pocket. That's great. Great storytelling. Yeah, that was amazing.
He's incredible. So we get that. Carlson's going to play. Okay. So no Letang. So Carlson's going to play.
Carlson's been out for 5 games, coming back from an injury.
Okay. So I'm not sure who's coming out. I'm guessing Clifton would come out. I'm just trying to check. Probably Clifton or Graves would come out. But here, let's see if the Penguins have said anything. Just doing this on the fly. Carlson activated. Ryan Graves, he goes on injured reserve. Okay? So that's the situation there. Carlson comes in. Kulak, of course, making his return to Edmonton as well. I would guess they'll be... They haven't been doing kind of the full-on tribute videos lately. Even when Connor Brown and Corey Perry were back earlier this season. Well, Brown was just back on Tuesday. Though they didn't play for the Oilers for a long time, but they went to consecutive Cup finals. So during the commercial break, there was a let's welcome back the guy who helped the Oilers get to 2 Cup finals. So I'd imagine there'd be some sort of announcement like that for Skinner and Kulak tonight. Maybe some highlights or something like that. I don't know if it would be anything too extensive, though.
Yeah, maybe like a 30-second to a minute thing.
I don't even know if it would be that long. I don't think it would be a minute. Well, I don't think.
Okay. I mean, do you think they duel it up? Like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone and just be like, hey, welcome back.
I think they do them together.
Yeah. Okay. That would only make sense, I guess. But yeah, I guess they're going to be, one of them is going to be sitting on the bench. Maybe do it while both of them are sitting on the bench.
Well, yeah, Skinner's not even in the game, so yeah.
He'll be wearing his...
Well, they have split screen technology now, Coop.
They do.
They don't have to go. They don't have to go ask them to sit together.
Yeah.
Jason in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999 to the Phil Bourque story says, back in the day, didn't matter if you had experience, you just had to lie about it. Or just step up and say you'll do it. Hey, who can do this show? I can. Oh, have you ever done a gardening show before, Reid? Oh, I can't remember. You don't have to lie.
You can pretend to talk about.
You can just be like, I've done shows. How hard can it be?
Oh, what kind of shows?
Yeah,
not a gardening one.
I used to do sometimes. I think I can tell this story now. I had to do. I didn't have to do it. I did it a few times. I think it's still on Ched. It's called Talk to the Experts. So it was like a Saturday afternoon show, but it was basically an hour-long commercial. Like it was a paid show. Mm-hmm. So say you and me open a whatever.
Well, you and Dusty open that.
We open our Splash of Drink store. And then, we buy the airtime and we kind of get interviewed, but really we're just plugging our business and stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes it went really well. Sometimes people weren't very talkative and you got to dance a lot. So this one company, I won't even say what they did, but you show up, you meet them quickly. Okay, what do you want to talk about? And this one guy gave me notes. He gave me about 5 pages, questions and paragraphs typed out for what he was going to say. And I'm like, this is incredible. So basically my job is to kind of steer it, make it conversational. And there were a couple other people there, include them. So I ask, so I introduce everybody. I think the other two people might have been higher up in the company. And then the guy that had the notes was the guy who did the hands-on work or something. So I kind of start with them and then I go to the other guy and I'm like, hey, so whatever your name is. And I kind of basically read the first question. I didn't do it word for word, but, I asked the question that he wanted to be asked. This is live on air. The company's paying for this airtime. And he looks at me and he goes, well, what are you talking about? I was just like,
that's what you wrote down.
I'm talking about the thing that you do for a living, that you gave me the question so you could say exactly what you wanted to say.
So you were asking the person who handed you the pamphlet.
I was asking the question off his notes. It would be like if you came on the show to talk about rap music.
I like
and you're
that.
like, Reid, I know you know next to nothing about rap. So, you can ask me the stuff you want to ask me about why I started and all that, but here's some more specific stuff to help me get my message out. So it'd be like me going, hey, Zach, so you're a local rapper. So you grew up in Edmonton? Yeah, I sure did, Reid. This is my neighborhood. I started rapping when I was 5. And then it was just like, okay. Then I pick up the sheet of paper. I'm like, I'm wondering if you can tell me about some of the influences and what age you were when you started rapping. Right? So
Very direct.
you give me that question because you're like, Reid doesn't know anything. This is something he should ask me. So it'd be like if I read that question that you gave me and then you looked at me and were like, what do you mean?
Huh?
Yeah. That's sort of what happened.
Maybe he gave you the wrong pamphlet. Did it continue from there?
Well, I kind of sputtered and I sort of just basically re-asked the question and then he gave an answer. And then I went to commercial and I just kind of politely but pointedly just held up the sheet of paper and I was like, so these are the talking points that you want to get out? So if I ask you these questions, I'll set you up for these talking points? And he's like, yeah, of course.
Maybe.
Yeah, I should have looked at him and been like, what do you mean?
Yeah, you ad-libbing threw him off.
But I didn't really ad-lib.
Yeah,
I just didn't do it quite word for word.
Okay.
Maybe I was a jerk. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm not very self-aware.
Maybe it was your fault, Reid, huh?
Well, most things are my fault.
I'm just kidding.
Usually when the Oilers lose, it's my fault to some extent, according to many of the audience members. We are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Oilers play the Penguins tonight. During every Oilers game day at the Canadian Brewhouse, enter at any Edmonton and area location for your chance to win Oilers home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards. See in-store for details. My goodness, Cooper, we're having a good time. I think Jay will be proud of us. We've had a good time and a good show without him. We miss him, but I think we're having a good time.
I hope he's having a good time with Dusty.
At Dusty doing they're at a professional they're at Schmooze Fest 26. I believe that's what it's called.
Where was mine?
Schmooze Fest 26. Tell you what, Tom Gazola is coming up to talk Oilers. I'm gonna spring something on Tom. I hope he's ready. I'm gonna spring something on Tom. If you are taking us in on YouTube, and sometimes we have some audience coming in after 5, and you have not given us a thumbs up, please do so. We got a really good thumb total today. Let's see how high we can get it. So if you have not hit the thumbs up button, hit it. If you have hit it, click share, SHARE, and maybe write something affectionate in the nasty chat and send the show link off to somebody else. Gazola's next. Here's Coop.
The Oilers and Penguins go at it from Rogers Place. Tristan Jarry gets the call for the home squad. Arturs Sheloff's expected for the Pens. And Erik Karlsson will return for Pittsburgh. He's missed the past 5 games with a lower body injury. Join Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They get you set for puck drop. Coverage starts at 6 right here on EST. And there's 4 games live in the NHL, all about midway through the first period. Just one with a goal. It's the Sabres up 1-0 over the Canadiens. Jason Zucker with his 11th of the season from Jack Quinn and former Oiler Ryan McLeod. We also see the Golden Knights and Bruins battling as the Blackhawks go at it with the Hurricanes. Meanwhile, TSN's Chris Johnston has reported that Oliver Ekman-Larsson is expected to be out for some time for the Leafs with a lower body injury that forced him to leave yesterday's game against the Red Wings. And a couple new head coaches in the NFL. Jesse Minter has been hired as a bench boss for the Ravens. He spent the past 2 years with the Chargers as their offensive coordinator. And the Titans have inked former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to a 5-year contract. A few games going on in the NBA right now. The Hornets up 11-3 over the Magic. 7:20 left to go in the first. The 76ers also trail the Hornets, or the Rockets, 19-12. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Tom Gazola next on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
December's festive featured wing flavors are here at the Canadian Brewhouse. It's festive cranberry versus Korean bulgogi in the ultimate flavor showdown. Try them anytime or just 67 cents every Wing Wednesday for a limited time. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Sentinel Storage presents Team Canada Ice Dancers, Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier on Support from Home.
We're celebrating all the people at home, the people that have supported us. We know our community is going to be cheering for us, and we know the country is going to be cheering for us.
Thank you, Canada. Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Team Canada.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, we're here. It's a game day. I'll be heading to Rogers Place right after the show. Tom Gazola is going to take over the stream. Benny Thompson's going to slide in here at the EST Global HQ into the technical desk. Zach is there now. Oilers Penguins at 7 o'clock. So before I bring in Tom, you can hear me, right? Give me the thumbs up. Okay, I want to play this clip here from Chris Knoll. I might not even play the whole clip. I might just stop it at the key point. Anyway.
I think the last 7-8 games, actually, if you even go back before that, I've been looking at, usually expected goals gives you a good indication of how you're playing. And
okay, Tom, so here's the question. Tom. Right off the top, Tom Gazola, Oil Stream, EST legend. If expected goals is a good enough stat for an NHL head coach, a bench boss, as some would say, if expected goals is a good enough stat for Chris Knobloch, he's won 4,000% of his games since he took over the Oilers. 16-game winning streak. 2 trips to the Cup final. Almost came back from 3-0 down. If expected goals is a good enough stat for Chris Knobloch, why is it not good enough for Tom Gazola?
Because I don't need that kind of equation to tell me if a team's playing well or playing not well. So, and it's subjective too. So if he uses that as an indicator as to how his team's playing, and it helps validate his instinct, then great. However people need to interpret the game or whatever they use in terms of tools to help them understand the game better, that's their own thing. But that's a tool I do not need. That's one that when people throw that gunk at me, I go, okay, so what you're telling me is they should have played better, should have won, and didn't. Great that, it takes a math equation to help you understand that. And that's fine. I'm not against analytics. I am not for analytics. I think there's some good stuff there. And I think there's some stuff there that's a little bit unnecessary and people get way too caught up in it. And the only thing is what bothers me though, Rick, about this whole battle and argument and conversation, I don't think there's much of a battle. There was maybe 10, 15 years ago. There used to be this real divide, but it's people get so offended if you do or if you don't like them, and I think it's a bit silly. So, hey, if that's what he's looking at, great. If that's helping him validate what he's seeing, and then that's fine. And I'll tell you this too. Talking to the Oilers, their hockey ops department, multiple people within the hockey ops department over many years, and how analytics have evolved. What you get as just the public, what we get as public, or even if you subscribe to, I think there's a Sport Logic.
Sport Logic's a big one, yeah.
Yeah. What you're getting even with that subscription is it pales in comparison to the type of data that the teams are getting or that they're using, from what I've been told. So they have more metrics than even those outlets, if you will.
I couldn't help being cheeky and playing that for you.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that.
But I mean, it's another way of saying we're generating, like when I was a kid, it was grade A chances.
Yeah.
Grade A chances. It's over the years, it's become shot slots, like the home plate area.
Right.
Exactly. Or now it's all sort of become expected goals. So it's actually taking times where it's like, well, that usually will go in. So I understand. I laugh sometimes where it's like, well, the expected goals was 4.4 to 3.8. Well,
how many did they actually get?
Yeah, I know.
Because that's all that matters. And then, the where it does get into the weeds a bit is like the saves above expected or whatever. And it's like, you're telling me that this guy isn't making the one or two saves a night you need. Right? Like, and if you're preaching it and putting it on other people and being obnoxious about it, that's where I'm like, okay, back off. Like,
but you make a good point. All joking aside, and we are kind of joking a little bit, though we understand what he's saying. Like he's saying, the Islanders game, most times you're going to win. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Couple times we've lost and have grossly outplayed the other team. Yeah. Now, a couple times they've probably won and they should have lost, like the first time in Winnipeg when Pickard stole the game. But anyway, you are right in that the stuff that the teams collect is beyond what the public, fans and media, for in most cases, would get. And plus, they all emphasize their own thing. Like publicly, Knobloch has talked about zone entries and zone exits, right? So he might say, okay, this is a part of a game as a coach that I believe in, so I really want to count these, right?
Great
Whereas
point.
another coach might say, well, I want to count shot slots, or I want to count 4 checks 1 or something like that, because I believe that's what puts us over the top. So that to me, that is the interesting part of it, is that that's what I would do if I ever were like, hey, Reid, you got 15 minutes with Knobloch, Bowman, and an analytics guy. What I'd be like, hey, show me the report. Tell me what you emphasize off this report.
Yeah.
This number looks bad. Why aren't you worried about that number? Or are you? Like that's what I would like to learn about.
Because you would understand their philosophy and how they view the game as a coaching staff and a team. And that, I think, is important information to try to get in their minds or try to interpret things the way they see them. Especially when you're covering a team every single day. I think that is incredibly valuable, and you can learn a lot just talking to them. And we're lucky that we know a lot of people, not just with the Oilers, but those around the National Hockey League that they help you. They'll give you answers as much as they can without providing too much detail about their specific teams, where you could you get an idea. And then, and sometimes, that you can't really share that with the public, and people will say, well, why aren't you talking about this stat or that stat? And, without being rude, you're like, that's not really valuable, to be honest with you. It's kind of irrelevant. And
I don't know if
you want to be nice.
I don't know if
that's how I look at it.
I don't know if I ever told you I did this. So Aiken's first or second year, well, he only coached a year and a third.
Yeah.
And he was pretty heavy analytics at the time.
Oh, yeah. He had Tyler Dello.
So
I got along with great.
He remember where they used to practice in Leduc, and we'd have to drive out to Leduc?
Yes, I do.
So like they scrummed outside that hallway, like it's sort of in the common area of the Leduc. I can't remember what it's called. If it's just the
Black
rec
Gold.
center, the Black Gold, right?
Gold, yeah.
So there weren't a lot of people there, and then it just one of those, like, he kind of lingered after, and there was a little banter, and there was just like me and him, and I was like, hey, you've talked about like these game reports you get after the game, like with some of your own stats that you track.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, would you ever let me look at one? And he was like, no. Like, he wasn't mad about it, but he was just like, I was like, okay, I just saw it as like I said, I wouldn't like report it. I would just be curious to see what he's like. No, I couldn't show you, but I tried.
And you know what, too, Reid? Like around that time, I don't know if it was when Dallas was coaching or one of the other coaches, but like they've had analytics departments. They've had different analytics companies, I guess, over the years. They've rotated through some different experts. They've gone through a bunch, obviously. And I remember talking to a few of the players, and this might have been like 2013, 2014. And I was told, we get this little sheet with our numbers and our analytics. And I was like, oh, like, what, is there good stuff on there? And all of them are like, no, didn't tell us anything we needed. Didn't help in the intermission. Didn't help after the game. And maybe one of them was like, well, I like to look at this thing, but it doesn't really do anything for it. It doesn't help me on the ice.
Yeah. Well, the players want to know why, right? They just don't want the number necessarily. Yeah. But I mean, Tippett said, like in the 90s, maybe when he was still in the season, he was one of the first coaches to track something. I don't know if it was zone entries or zone exits. Remember he said that? Because he was accused, because he had, I think some of the fan base, I hate saying that. I think it was some of the fan base. It was probably a minority, but we're like, oh, Tippett's old school. Like, he's boring and he probably rejects analytics. And somebody asked him about that, and he was like, I was one of the first coaches I can't remember what it was, but he said, I tracked something when no one else was tracking it, and now it's a thing that everybody tracks, right? But that's really the thing is, I mean, I've almost become to hate the word analytics, and like you said, it creates this divide that has become kind of stupid and unnecessary.
Exactly.
But it's teams are always looking for another data set that might put them over the top. I mean, a lot of it comes from baseball, but like on base percentage wasn't a thing. And then the Dodgers in the 50s were like, wait a minute, what if we treated a walk as important as a single? The guy's on base, right? So then
it's a chance to score.
Yeah.
And I think there's a moment where Tip probably lost a lot of the analytics crowd, quote unquote. And it was the Korski and Fensky comment.
Oh, and he made fun of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I might have asked that question too, yeah.
Way to go. Look what you did.
I think I did, if I remember, yeah.
He got paid handsomely regardless of coaching the team or not. So, listen, I think information is power. Knowledge is power. The more information, the better. But you could get tripped up on that stuff. And some of it's like vital. Like, to me, I think zone starts are important. I think zone time is a great indicator. Like, if you could track possession time, and I think people do track possession. Like, to me, those things are telling, and you could build an idea, formulate how a team is generally playing. Won't tell you everything because there's other things that are factor in. And listen, I remember reading Moneyball, and they go into Bill James, and there's, I think, a chapter or two, and it explains it and how Billy Beane caught on to this finally. And in baseball, the game, the play starts with a pitch and it can only have a finite amount of results. Whereas hockey, football, basketball, it's way more fluid, and I think it also complicates and skews some of the stats that are formulated.
Well, and what the A's were doing, they didn't necessarily invent a new set of stats. They needed to figure out how can we value stats and get wins, because we can't pay $30 million for a guy to hit 60 home runs. How can we pay a guy $1 million to produce the same number of runs because he does other things that lead to runs being scored? Anyway,
and that was the genius of how they approach things. And listen, as a fan of the Oakland A's for a good chunk of those years because of their affiliation to the Trappers, and watching those teams using them in baseball games, they were like playoff teams that were kind of competitive, but they were never a contender. And they didn't have that star power. And I'm sorry, but in any top tier, any sport really, you need star players, quote unquote.
Well, they had the pitchers, don't forget. Like that's why some people shoot down what Bean did, because they had Mulder, Zito, and Hudson.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're kind of like, oh, really? You put together a team on analytics, or you also had three really good pitchers?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, they did.
All right. I've taken you down this path.
No, I enjoyed this.
I love having you on the show.
I mean, we could talk about lines till the cows come home, but this is way more fun. I just think, I don't like I'll end it with this, Reid. I don't like the animosity it creates, and I kind of chastise it every now and then. But if the bottom line is this, if it helps you understand the game better, then use it. Those are tools to help you see things, understand things, comprehend things, discuss things about the game. And that's what we all want, because we know how great hockey is. To me, that's fantastic. But if you're preaching it on people and you're telling them because they don't like what you do, and that's wrong, and you're dumb and this and that, that's where it becomes stupid. I'll just end it on that.
Oilers Penguins tonight. Erik Karlsson will play for the Penguins. Phil Bourque told us that at the top of the hour. The Oilers trying to get back in the win column. Penguins doing really well since Christmas. I will say this. The Oilers have not lost. They've only lost 2 in a row once since that November 20th game against Tampa Bay. Now, to me, the challenge is, and I said this after the game, and you guys talked about it, eventually not having Leon Draisaitl is tough. Hopefully he's back Saturday. Jari in goal again. I'm interested to see what we get from the Oilers tonight, because it looks like they're going to put the big line back together. What do the other 8 forwards bring? And who do Podkolzin and Frederick wind up playing with?
Yeah. I mean, it's because remember they started last game with just a rotation of the 3 centers through basically the fourth pairing or whatever you want to call it. Feels like there might be more of an emphasis on keeping the top line together and then keeping that Roslovic, Savoy, Howard line together. And then maybe they sprinkle, even with Lazar, like I think he's been okay, but maybe they kind of pick their spots for how they deploy Frederick and Podkolzin, or maybe they just roll Connor with him, with those two. I'm curious to see how they play it out too. You're right about Leon and it catching up to them, and Pittsburgh's playing great hockey. Yes, Edmonton has been dominant against the Penguins, but when you're outmanned or you're shorthanded in the Oilers' case, and listen, I don't know how long they're going to play Regula tonight. He got the 2.5 minutes or whatever the other night. You're basically playing with 18 skaters, and that's tough. So, I think we're in for a good game. I think we're in for a tough game from an Oilers standpoint, and I don't think there's any kind of cakewalk coming here for the Oil, just given the circumstances with injuries and guys being out. And what is encouraging is, Kapanen was on the ice. I put out a video from the optional morning skate today. Was moving around, shooting well. That was a good sign. And then Knobloch said, hopefully by the weekend, or he said it would be fortunate to have him in by the weekend. And then, he also basically told us Leon Draisaitl more likely this weekend too. So not tonight.
Okay. Off topic for William Huff. What 1v1 showdown of superstars would you like to see? You can take people from different eras You can use any sport, and they don't necessarily have to play against each other. Like I gave the example, peak Montana against peak Mahomes. One
awesome.
guy's out for San Fran, then Mahomes goes out for KC. LeBron Jordan is one for me, both in a 5-on-5 game and 1v1. Woods versus Nicholas starting the final round of a major tied with a 6-shot cushion on the guy in third place. Ohtani versus Ruth. Pitch like they both pitched for their teams and they both hit. Some people have put in race car drivers. Gager said Roy Jones versus Mayweather. That would be incredible. Anything pop into your mind?
Well, you named a few of them. You know what would have been cool? What would have been cool is to see Bobby Orr in Edmonton play against the Oilers and Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, that would have
been neat. Yeah. A great story here. Doug Hicks, who played for the Oilers for the first couple of years in the NHL. I was with him last week a little bit, and he was talking about how in Chicago he was on Bobby Orr's team and played a bunch of games. Or Bobby Orr didn't play a ton of games with Chicago, but Hicksy was paired up with him for some of those games, he said. And I said, how bad were those knees? And he said they were all cut up from all the surgeries and the way that this evolution and how we handled MCL, ACL tears and meniscus tears compared to how we did in the 70s is so advanced. It would be amazing to see him be able to continue to play into the 80s. To watch him go against Wayne Gretzky would be crazy. And it was funny because Hicksy's like, yeah, he couldn't move laterally anymore. So we would basically just throw him out there on the power play.
Right.
It's like, okay. And he still put up points. But I think Bobby Orr versus Wayne Gretzky would have been really neat, to be honest with you, because Orr definitely had a couple more years left in him if he had good knees that weren't all torn up. And basically he had to have ACLs repaired, and he probably had no cartilage by the time he was 30 years old, which is awful because it's shock absorption and all that, and it was basically bone on bone, which is terrible. So I think I'd go something like that.
That's a good one. That'd be a fun game to watch.
Yeah,
and they'd be on the ice against each other. Like Crosby and McDavid, they probably will, but it could be that they don't play against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Very much so. Yeah. All right, what's on your pregame show tonight for GCL Diesel?
All right, we've got Haley Hunter on. She is from Sportsnet Pittsburgh. She's the host / ringside reporter. She's back in studio today because Dan Potash is traveling with the team, and he's here. So I caught up with her earlier. She's phenomenal. Reid, she played college golf, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think her dad played in the NHL as well. So she knows her stuff. And we had a great conversation about these pens. And then Matt Cassian is our game analyst. And then Betty Thompson and myself will also get you ready to go. And then, of course, on the post-game show, you will be joining us for Reid's Read, brought to you by eWell, your partners in power. So it's going to be great.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to my hit, not joining at like 11:40 like I did last game because of the 8:22 start and then the traffic. It's the parking lot. I don't know what they're doing lately. Like they're closing down one of the exits, and then I've had to exit, go in the alley of the Ling Nan as opposed to going by the Ling Nan and then coming up 104th, I guess, but not the cool part of 104th, the arena side of 104th to get out. So anyway, because there's a couple of times I've been worried, I'm like, I'm not going to make it. Anyway.
No, we always got time reserved for you. You're a great part of the post-game show, obviously. And you know what? I'll tell you what, those bike lanes are always well swept and maintained. So I have seen a lot of cars drive down those when people get frustrated.
Tom, have a good show. Thanks for being so generous with your time, my friend.
Always a pleasure. See you later.
Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. Love having Tom on the show. I have done the play of the day, Jay's play of the day. I did it today. So go to playalberta.ca, go to the app. So it is the Oilers to win. It is McDavid to get 1 or more assists, and it is Hyman to get 3 or more shots on goal. Just so you know, Hyman's season average shots on goal per game is 3.09. So we should be able to get 3 tonight. All right, words of the day. Coob's going to give me the words of the day. I don't know if Benny's going to hop in and do something fun with us as well, but here's the sports update.
Games in the NHL tonight. The Oilers play host to the Penguins. Tristan Jarry facing his former team Arturs. Sheloff's getting the start for Pittsburgh. And returning to action for the Penguins after a 5-game hiatus, it's Erik Karlsson returning from a lower body injury. Catch Tom Gazola, Ben Thompson. They preview the game during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. That gets going at 6 right here on EST. 4 games are live right now, nearing the end of the first. And actually, after 20 minutes, it's the Blackhawks and Hurricanes tied at 1 aside. Meanwhile, the Golden Knights are down 3-0 to the Bruins as the Sabres lead the Canadiens 2-0. Injury news, Jonas Brodin will miss the Olympics for Team Sweden. He underwent surgery to repair a lower body injury. He's expected to return for the Wild before the end of season. NFL news, Jesse Minter has been hired as the head coach of the Ravens, spending the last 2 years with the Chargers as their offensive coordinator. And from Tennessee, the Titans have inked Robert Saleh to a 5-year deal to become their head coach. On the hardwood, there's 4 games underway in the NBA, including the Hornets up 39-28 over the Magic midway through the second. The Rockets also have down 39-44 to the 76ers. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Okay, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Erik Karlsson will return to the Penguins lineup tonight against the Edmonton Oilers, 7 o'clock game at Rogers Place. You can text us 780-218-9999, the afternoon inbox, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out all their upcoming shows. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Zachary Kubish is at the technical desk. Ben Thompson is ready for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Benny, how are you doing?
I'm great, Reid. How are you?
Good. Okay, so Jay's away. Sometimes he gives me a card of Canadian trivia from this box of trivia we have. Mom got it for the office. My mom got it for the office for Christmas. So what are there, 5 questions or 6?
There's 5.
Okay, and how am I going to do?
You're going to have 3
I mean,
today.
Coop thinks 3. You've seen the questions already. Kuba's not. Oh, wow. Okay.
All right,
let's do it, and then we'll do words of the day.
I like your chances here.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, here's a layup for you to start. The Montreal Expos moved to what city?
Washington.
Correct. That's one.
Ding.
Dun, da, da, da. Hey, dun, da, da, da.
That's pretty good.
A little bit more reverb.
Yeah, that was pretty
almost
good.
the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's the same guy.
Ready?
Yeah.
What Métis architect designed the Canadian Museum of Civilization?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There you go.
Are there choices? No.
No.
I don't even know. Javier.
Douglas Cardinal.
Okay.
What Winnipeg band was previously known as Chad Allen and the Expressions? This one's
Well, the only Winnipeg band I know for sure isn't the Guess Who from Winnipeg. I'll say the Guess Who.
correct.
It is the Guess Who. Okay.
Wow.
What a poll.
Thank you.
What a poll. Founded in 1963, what festival's first performance was Richard III?
Oh, the Stratford Festival in Stratford, Ontario. I've been to a play there.
Wow.
I saw Little Shop of Horrors, though they do a lot of Shakespeare.
Wow.
So it's near Kitchener-Waterloo, where I was born, and a couple of my cousins live.
Okay.
Kitchener side?
I think I was born on the Kitchener side, just barely. Yeah.
Okay. Final one. Yeah, you should know this. What is the 2-letter postal abbreviation of Nunavut?
Oh. NT? That's wrong.
Incorrect.
Is it no? Oh, NU.
Correct.
It's NU. Okay.
Yeah.
3 out of 5.
NT is
there.
Northwest Territories, right?
Wouldn't that be NW2 or T?
No, but they use
just go
2
by
letters,
two.
right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Alberta.
I guess 2. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay.
NU. Well,
wow.
3 out of 5. You're right there.
Not
though.
bad.
Oh.
Well, unfortunately, the Métis architect I wasn't getting.
Yeah, no, that's the one I knew you'd be like, yeah, that's a.
All right. Do you want to stick around for words of the day?
do
You
it.
can just sit there.
I will sit there.
Words of the day presented by the Edmonton Public Library. I just read a little bit of Reacher last night. Oh, he's putting his nose where it doesn't belong. And he's met the chief guy now that he's going to go up and that this guy doesn't like him. He wants him out of town. Edmonton Public Library stands up for your right to explore every topic, every belief, and every opinion without censorship. Go to intellectualfreedom.ca.
Okay, first word of the day, noctivigant. Noctivigant is the first
Holy
word
crap.
of the day.
Noctivigant. So one of the keys for me here is I don't know if this starts with a K or with an N. It could come from nocturnal, which means it wouldn't start with a K. So I'm going to go simple like Jay always tells me to do. Noctivigant. Noctivigant.
Oh, so close. So
is it
close.
Vagant?
VAG. Yeah, it's not VI. It's V.
Oh, crap.
Yes. Yeah. So close, Reid. So close.
I'm going to say this is someone who prefers doing chores at night.
Prefers doing chores at night? Just doing the chores?
I'm in the ballpark here.
Yeah.
This is somebody who functions better at overnight hours.
I'll give you a half. I'll give
Okay.
you a half.
Yeah, not bad, eh,
There we
Benny?
go.
Not bad. Not as dumb as I look.
Yeah. Could never look that dumb.
Nobody could be that dumb.
Nobody could be that dumb. Nobody. I need to be like Bart Simpson writing that on the wall. Okay. So 0.5 out of 2. It means wandering at night.
Oh, wandering at night.
Wandering
so it does have to
at
do
night.
with nocturnal activities. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
The second word of the day, bescumber.
Say that again.
Bescumber.
Bescumber. Oh, these are
Scumber. Can I give my try at this here?
You have to.
Sure.
Okay. This to me, I think is what
Maybe best scumber would probably make more sense. I don't think it's bescumber.
Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going with the third thing I wrote down.
Really?
And then I'm going to give mine, and then Betty's going to give his, and then Koob will say the right one.
Okay.
Bescumber. Bescumber.
Yes, that's how I had to.
Oh,
that's
I got it. But
Sorry,
see, I wrote
I
down.
got
I had
excited.
a K at first, and I had 2 M's.
Oh, really?
All right.
Yeah,
so this
I'm with that.
means. This makes me think of besmirch, but it wouldn't mean the same thing. I'm going to say maybe it's the opposite of besmirch. That this means to to put forward positive and good things about someone else's reputation.
Would you like a sentence?
Yes, I would.
Okay. The clumsy farmer accidentally bescumbered his prized pumpkin. The clumsy farmer accidentally
destroyed, accidentally ruined it, ruin something of value.
I can't give you the point for that. I'll give you one out of two for one out of two for the spelling. But the actual definition of bescumber is to defile or sully something.
Well, that's kind of what I said.
With mud or dung.
Oh,
specifically. With mud
very
or
specific.
dung.
Mud or dung. Well, and you get a bonus point for working the word dung into the show.
Yeah, there we go.
Will the Oilers play like dung tonight? Will they be noctivagant against the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Wow.
The Icebirds, as some would call them. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show coming up in 5 minutes with Tom Gazola and this guy, Ben Thompson. I'll be on the postgame show with the guys after the game as well. Glue Guy is back tomorrow. On behalf of Zachary Kubish, I'm Reid. Enjoy the game.